That was a good one. You didn't quite fall asleep though. Mm-mm. Okay, let's keep waiting. Feel a little like I'm blurry. I guess that's fine. Change the layout so I couldn't keep the same writing, so I had to make a new one. And hey, someone. So the live chat feed. Some people might not have a great resolution as me, so I went ahead and enlarged it. So now a lot more people should be able to read the live chat if you, for whatever reason, want to play back a 3 hour after hours video. Hey, Broken Carpenter. All right, awesome. Okay. Hey, Copter. Hey, Kelly, how's it going?
Hey, hi. Where is everybody?
Everybody's coming
Oh,
in. You feeling better now after your trip? Oh,
in the
sorry.
headset. Oh well. Um,
Hey, Eric.
I took that picture.
Oh, you
Hey,
did?
how's it going?
The one that with Eric Brana and
Nick Bronner.
the news guy, and then
Yeah. Nick Bronner.
Tim, whatever it is, can't remember. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not really a big like.
Hey,
You
Jenny.
know,
Hey, Mary.
if you
Sorry,
look
sorry.
on my Twitter page, I have my picture with Lee Camp and with Cornell West, but I'm like a behind the camera more. This is weird for me. Like I would never do this probably by myself, but
By the way, did you see the attack ad on Lee Camp by New York
yes,
Times? And then
yes,
Lee
I was
Camp's
reading it
reply.
earlier.
Oh, one second.
Did you read Lee Camp's reply article?
Do what?
Did you read Lee Camp's reply article?
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
I didn't finish it. I was in the middle of it, and I was kind of running around. So, I love the way. I mean, I too was disappointed about his kind of stance on the Seth Rich thing, kind of seeming to, but his rebuttal is it makes sense. He basically breaks it down, right? I mean, like what they say about him, it's
Yeah.
crazy. Anyway.
Let's see.
I like how he counts the lies.
Yeah, yes, yeah. I mean, it was like I can't remember all the terms he used, but yeah,
Oh
it was
yeah.
great. I've been really reading a lot of logical fallacies. That thing, I think I posted that another time we talked about it, but it's really interesting if you just keep reading those and looking at examples of them and seeing how much all of those are used in our media every day. Inflation and the false, what is it? Like where you only have two, they present it like you only have two options, but that's not true. There are all these different, I'll post it again,
Yeah.
but logical fallacies is pretty cool. Um, anyway, so as usual, it takes me a little bit to catch up. So I only know some of what's going on as far as like, I mean, I know that Zach Collar and there was a whole bunch of talk about, we touched on it last night, the funding, but as far as whatever's happened this afternoon, I haven't caught up yet. So
There's
anyway,
always a lot to catch up on.
yeah, I find I end up doing it late at night. I guess it's kind of after it happened, but it's just the way it goes. I'm busy between like afternoon to 10 o'clock is
Yeah.
when I'm usually mom taxi and,
Yeah, I know. I
you
mean,
know,
I feel like one person out there could cover just the stuff that goes on Twitter, the news, that stuff that doesn't get really promoted and made videos of. For
hmm
example, you got the Caitlin Johnstone hit, you got Lee Camp hit, and then his reply,
hmm
and there's a whole bunch of other stuff. And people could just make video after video out of that and inform people because there's a lot of people that aren't following Twitter and specific
Yeah,
people.
right. That's true. But it just also gets to a point where you're just like, oh God, really? More? I don't
Yeah.
know.
Yeah, so it's a little bit of high school. The whole Twitter thing. It can get
Yeah.
very high schoolish.
So, depending, I don't know, I think Stevie was coming on too, right?
Yeah.
Cool.
Sure. We'll wait a little bit. But I mean, we're
I
still
mean, I
waiting on other
definitely
people.
want to participate, but I haven't eaten yet, so
Oh yeah.
I want
Go
to.
ahead. Go get
I
some to
don't
eat
want
and
to
come
sit
back.
here and eat. I'm gonna, shove food in my face. So I think I'll just go on mute for a few minutes.
Sure. I've got some news for people.
I'll be
Well,
listening.
okay.
Okay, cool.
For example, of course, you guys already know Jamarl is going to be on Hard Bastard Live. So go ahead and watch Hard Bastard tomorrow night.
Oh,
Um,
Oh,
definitely.
cool.
Yep. And next Monday, Elizabeth Beck will be on a panel, and H.A. Goodman says he'll do it too. So it'll be at 8 p.m. Eastern time, right before H.A.'s No Sellouts with Tim Black.
Oh, sweet.
I'm trying to get Tim to be on it. He's got a lot of stuff going on. But I also asked Mike Figueredo, and I've sent out a lot of people, and Jamaro Thomas. We'll see. There's a lot of stuff that I'm planning with Jamaro. Like we're trying to do. Well, one, the more important one is him, and with Bob TV and with Snork Y2K. Um, trying to get them to talk about do another panel between themselves, and it'll be talking about like a um, People's Manifesto or Progressive Manifesto, whatever you want to call it. And Snork also has his own topic that he wants to talk about. And then one thing that me and Jamaro are thinking about doing is doing like a chess game. So we play chess, we talk about strategy, we talk about just maybe politics, how strategy gets involved, and history of strategy, history of chess. Just kind of a thing where people can view us playing. Maybe you don't know how to play chess, you might learn. If you do play chess, you might see our way of thinking. It's just kind of something fun, something to just kind of um, show our thought process, I guess. Um, I don't know. Like just like the things that we want to plan elsewise, right? Like maybe we do like a video game or talk about more food stuffs or talk about music or movie reviews, book reviews, things like that. Like I want to do something with Bram on computers and also Garden Gnome with Dune and a whole bunch of things. So get in touch with me. Say you want to do something specific. We'll figure out a time. We might cut back on after hours to do some of those things to be something geared more
Okay.
specifically. We'll see. I mean, this is to play around with, right? And then um, I'm trying to automate this. I'm thinking about it because some of it might be hard, but this itself, what After Hours does, get on Ring Central and just have it live stream is really simple. It's just where I'm going to house that at and how much it'll cost. Because it would probably be on the cloud because I might not be around, or if I move and a whole bunch of stuff, it would just be a hassle to port it over. Anyways, that's it. Aeolus Drift is here, independent outsider, broken carpenter. So feel free to take the
Hello.
hi. Feel free to
Hey,
take the
Chris.
stage.
What I'll say about the idea about having, first off, I don't really have that much time to be on that often. I mean, I know last week I said I didn't have that much vacation time, but guess what? I took a week anyway. I don't care because I needed a break. So you'll see me on this week, but most of the time I work from 6 to 2:30. So if you guys have this 24-hour thing, that would be fantastic for me. And if you wanted to set up a GoFundMe, I think it would be, it would be appropriate for people who, like myself, who would want something like that. I would help fund that.
Okay.
I mean,
well,
I can't give a ton of money, but
yeah, I know.
I like the idea of doing a marathon and trying out the 24-hour thing to try to pay for the service that we need and sort of keep it sort of self-sustaining.
Yeah, I would.
Political Twitch streams.
I would have to create a couple of accounts, and it may not have to. It may not be on YouTube. It may have to be on Periscope or something, or some other medium. So, but I might restream it on YouTube, so the secondary, third accounts can do this, because I think one of the best things is getting people to chat and make comments, which I love it, because sometimes I just feel like chatting on a keyboard, and some people don't come on.
Jamal actually was talking to one of his subscribers who was talking about setting up another platform. Now I don't know about price or anything else, but it's something very similar to this.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know if that would be a cost-saving measure. I mean, you could talk to Jamal about that.
Yeah.
I really like this idea of having people being able to chat with each other, and I just found this group, and I already feel like there's some bonding there. So I'd love to do it, and I need another setup. I can't keep going on my phone either. So I'm going to come into a little bit of money. So I'm as I said before, I am starting to YouTube, and handheld iPhone ain't going to cut it for too long. So I got a couple $100 I'm going to get soon, and I'm going to invest in some equipment. If you guys have any ideas or suggestions for me, I'd be happy to hear them, because I'm not the most tech savvy guy in the world.
Okay. I think I might do a quick video. Or a lot of my videos that I do, I just kind of reference other videos that I liked. That way it just saves me a lot of time, and if I agree with it, or maybe there's something I would recommend elsewise. Like, I like to do two paths. I like the cheap route that is like very cost effective but really does the job. And then the second thing is, like, if you want to get near that professional level quality, just try to get that as cheap as possible. And then if you ever want to go like super professional grade, then find someone else to get recommendations from. So
once you look at my face and hear my stuff, you'll know where I'm coming from. I'm not super professional. I'm not looking to go on TYT or CNN or any nonsense like that. You'll see.
Yeah. And
so tell me this: how does this mic sound?
It sounds awesome.
Amazing.
This is what in the hell is it now? I gotta look.
Is it a Logitech?
No, I'm using my phone. I took a picture of my Tobacco Road phone setup there I got. It's a Skull Candy wireless jib, jibe. I don't know what the hell they mean by it, but it's if it sounds all right, it was only I think they're only like $35 for one of these. And the nice thing about this is we were having a static problem, and with this I don't have the wires dragging on my phone, and my phone is just took to a tripod, like a little mini tripod that I have that also has like a Velcro lash on it, and the Velcro lash I just put on a pole that I use for my movie screen. So that's how I do it. And, if this isn't like super high quality, but it works.
Yeah. I mean, I think if you're for me, I don't like a lot of flashy stuff. I think what's important is what's being discussed, what's being talked about. So all the flashy stuff is just distractions. So if you're doing a lot of stuff with talking, having a dedicated microphone would probably be really good, because it amplifies your voice. It also makes it more natural and professional. I think if I didn't have a good mic, I would kind of sound a little whiny maybe. So it helps.
No, I sound like that naturally,
so
it's not gonna help.
But you could also change it. Like you could set like a little bit of bass level, right? So if you have kind of a lighter voice, it'll make it deepen. So there's some good things that a good mic can do for you, especially with like certain other things where you can fiddle around with. But I mean, if you're starting out, I wouldn't even deal with that later. I'm more of a techie, so I kind of explore a lot of different types of products. And
Well, I have my gaming headphones, but I don't know how to hook them up. They're from my Xbox 360, so they got like 87 wires on them. But that's what, Turtle Beach or whatever. They're not great ones. I don't know if they'd be any better than this. You know.
yeah, I mean it works. I like it. It doesn't crackle, which is awesome. Christian, do you want to do a?
I mean,
What was
I
that?
would caution
Okay.
people against. Oh shoot! It was a cheaper model, and I wish I had my receipt right now to be able to read it off to you. But it was another brand, and it the way they package them,
Yeah,
they fold the wire underneath them, so every one of them has the same short.
yeah.
So I mean, they were cheaper, but not better.
Yeah, I mean, what people, and that's the thing what I love about people who do product reviews, because I work with so many different types of products. Like, my favorite wireless keyboard was this $10 combo. It was like a Microsoft keyboard, wireless, and a basic mouse. I didn't like the mouse very much, but the keyboard was just top notch. It was normal membrane, but like the wireless part always worked awesomely, and just the feel of it was pretty good for a membrane. And you know, I've had like, oh, actually, the mouse was pretty good too. And I've had like $120 like wireless keyboards and wireless mouse that I returned because it wasn't any better than that $10 combo. So sometimes cheap is good. You just have to find out, right? And just because,
Which is the better, cheaper?
yeah,
Mhm.
I mean, it's ridiculous to have $200 keyboard and mouse combo that sucks compared to a $10 one, right?
It took 3 times. It went to the store. I bought that first one. It was broken, but I used it one night. It worked kind of okay without the headphone coming in and out. But then I went back to the store. So I said, I'm going to upgrade to, try this Skull Candy. So I get it. And I come home, and last night I had plugged in, wouldn't charge, wouldn't do anything. So I took that back this morning. It took that many times to get one that worked. So, I mean, it may be you got to return them until you find one that works for you.
Yeah.
But I mean, the other ones just didn't work mechanically.
And if you're just using a phone, like maybe start off something simple, independent outsider. Where is it? I've had one somewhere. Oh man. I guess something like this is pretty sturdy. I think this is like $10 on Amazon. It has a little leveler where you can see if it's level, that liquid level, and it's pretty
Right.
sturdy. You just put on any type of webcam, or you could put on your like a iPhone, and that's all you need to use for stabilization. And then you can make it. You can maybe use a dedicated. Like if that's all you're using and you're not using a computer, I think that works perfectly fine. I mean, I think the point again is just the message. Look at Debbie Lusignan. All she does is use
Right.
a laptop. Or look at H.A. Goodman, right? He uses a laptop. It's not high quality. All they do is talk. They don't even put up any messages, live chats, or anything. They just turn it on, talk, and that's it.
I mean, Jamal, he has a more expensive setup. He's brilliant at on the spot interviews. I saw him. He was on point because he gets everybody's point of view, and he's just right on there. He knows the people that he's interviewing, and he gets right in there. But you need something, and even with a decent camera or a mic, things things go wrong. So I
Yep.
would understand if I was going to come around and do interviews, not to just do it on my iPhone. But that's what I'm not what I'm doing. So you know, iPhone or iPad or whatever, it's good enough for me right now. Until I hit the big time, whatever that is.
Yeah. It was last Wednesday. Jamal Thomas couldn't get his video stabilization right through OBS or something like that. So
Right.
what I did was I had him give me Tim's live stream key. So I put it on my OBS. I just did this Ring Central, and all I did was just him, and just did that. Um, and I think that's what would be cool to do is have something like an OBS Central, Ring Central type of thing where you call in, and that processing power just handles all the streaming stuff for you, so you don't have to fiddle around with having a super decent computer. You don't have to fiddle around the settings on the OBS or something, and do it that way.
Now, are you talking about like multiple FaceTime from your
Multiple,
from your iPhone?
not even multiple FaceTime, just presenting your camera. Like,
Oh, okay.
I don't know exactly why Jamal wanted it through OBS, because he could just done it on his phone or on his computer directly through YouTube. But yeah, the whole thing with it, what I'm kind of experimenting with is, and like right now, me and Eric set up OBS, right, to host this because he has a shared Ring Central meeting account. So when he did it, it was a little choppy. The video was just sluggish. It was you couldn't really see anything. So for now, I just go ahead and run it, and I could give up my controls, and Eric can finish hosting, which is awesome because then I don't have to be here all the time. I could mute everything, stop my video, work on other stuff, or take care of my kids. So it's nice to have people who can host it. So thank you, Eric, for he's always around to help host. And
no problem. Thank you for everything as well. Greatly appreciated.
And then of course Kelly and Stevie also are doing a lot of hosting duties. We gotta get Stevie up to speed though. With the
Right.
with the technical equipment.
I was serious about doing a GoFundMe for her mic. She does fantastic work. She really does.
Yeah, I mean, I've also offered to send her a webcam. I think a lot of people have, but I think she wants to go her own way because she has a lot of stuff from her mom.
Right.
And it would probably go to waste. So kudos to her for that, for not wanting to waste equipment that's kind of outdated.
Right.
No, like Tim said, you work with the tools you got.
Yep.
You gotta whatever you got, you gotta use it. Try to do what you can.
Make use of what you have. That is true. Like me, I make you. Sorry, you were gonna say something?
Well, going to the Tim thing, I really feel for Tim. I really do, because what Tim was doing tonight is what I call the workers' lament, or the facilitator's lament, and I know that lament more than a lot of people, because I've been a union rep for almost 10 years, and brother, I know what he's I know what he's talking about. Not the death threats, but I've had guys grab me by the collar and grab me by the throat and threaten to beat my ass in a parking lot kind of thing, because they didn't get what they wanted right away, or they're saying that I'm in bed with management or whatever. So I get Tim's frustration. I really do. And you're right. You do have to work with what you got, but
Yeah.
you also got to be careful too.
Yeah. I mean,
to use.
regarding the whole Tim Black thing, is I actually wanted him to go and saying we should set up a GoFundMe. I wanted to go too. Of course, I had different stuff come up. But who would you rather have? Tim not being there to give the perspective that we all trust in him to give, or for him to go, right? For him not to go and have everyone else give their own perspective that might not be Tim's, or actually have Tim go.
Right.
So you just got to look
Well,
at it
and
simply
it's
like
like-
that too.
And it's like I was saying the other night, we got to reach a little left and a lot to the left and a little to the right, and try to figure out a way to get a big enough gang together. You know what I mean? And I thought that was I know what he's saying. You know, I mean, it's a matter. It is numbers. We got to have enough.
Yeah.
I understand the words of caution, but you don't have to call people names either. That doesn't do any good.
Yeah, and that's my philosophy so far has been, because I've tried so many different types of tactics, is you really can't change people's minds. They have to, their minds will change themselves. That's how I got here, and the more that you challenge them, the more that they'll like put their foot down
They're going to dig in.
and dig in. So the thing is that me and Tim talk a lot about is, we need to build a platform where when people eventually get to where we are, they have somewhere to go. Like if Tim's gone, who do we go to? If Debbie's gone, if Jimmy Dore's gone, like we're kind of in nowhere land, right? So we got to keep building, get it bigger, have a larger network, make
Big time.
have technologies that we could go to if say YouTube or Periscope just kind of command control over everything, and where we can't talk like this anymore.
Yeah, we do need to find more platforms though.
Yeah, and so that's what everyone's trying to do. That's at the very bottom level, right? The independent media world. So it's hard because our numbers are small. I think eventually our numbers are going to get bigger because people are going to start coming around, but
but we have to build up there.
Exactly. And it's hard because this is real grassroots because we got no money. I mean, I would love it if someone was a billionaire and saying, hey, here's all the money in the world that I'm going to give to you guys. Right? But
yeah, but then you'll get dark money, complaints and you guys are hypocrites, blah blah blah.
Yeah, well,
No, I would never take dark money.
Well, maybe it's a trust. Maybe someone wins like a lottery from our group and says, "Hey, I'm going to donate the half of my lottery winnings towards media or something." Right? It could just be something surprising like that.
I love you, but I won't go half. I might go a 10.
I demand at least 70% of your earnings.
And
I love.
And this is what I like about the grassroots movement thing is we have to use what we got. I think when we get so much money, we kind of surplus it, use so much of it that we don't need. And I think when you go bare bones, you really do a good job of accomplishing what you can with what you've got. And then with the extra surplus, that's how you expand. Because if you say, hey, I think I need $250,000 to do what I'm doing, even though you're able to do it with like 40 grand a year. I mean, it doesn't make any sense. It's good so you're not like starving your kids just so you can keep going, or neglect their college fund or something like that. But you don't need that 250,000 saying, hey, for another person to help me, they need another 250,000. It's like you got to be realistic. So I think it's a good thing not to have so much money where you're not operating at a level where all you need is what you need.
Well, lack of funds breeds creativity too.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
Big time.
Oh, I'm hell for using what I got.
Me, I'm already happy with what I have already.
I would say this. I definitely wish I had more funds, or more time. That way I could invest into doing my book series. The funny thing is, I tried to record my intro last night for the start of my new channel, but I ended up screwing it up because I tried to narrate it on the free movie maker, and the narration only lasts 7 seconds.
Oh man.
Hey, brevity works sometimes.
Yeah, I can get my slogan in, my intro slogan in, and that's it. Welcome to my channel, donk. The end.
I guess we'll see how
Stevie?
Stevie's doing. Can you hear us,
She's
Stevie?
working on it.
Okay.
Nah, she's
yet.
microphone.
Yeah, can you hear me okay?
Yep.
Yeah, there we go.
Oh, cool.
Awesome.
There we go.
Wow. Right
I
on.
knew you were there somewhere.
I can't figure out the video, but I had to use the camera that's on this little, I don't know, recorder thing.
The recorder thing.
It's like one of those cheap like $10 discount store camcorders. Yeah.
It works good though. I like it. It looks
Yeah.
it's
It
got
got
a
kind of a blue tinge. It's
yeah,
really
it does.
cool.
Oh wow, that's some HD stuff.
It's red and blue, man.
Yeah. It's good.
So I saw you do a test stream, Stevie. What was that? I didn't really look at it.
Yeah, well, I was trying to figure out how to do the live stream the other night, and so I couldn't figure out how to get the video on there. So I tried again last night. I got it to work, but then I was like, oh wait, I don't have anything to talk about, so I just put up a documentary.
Okay.
That awkward moment when you realized that you were trying to say something, but then you realized you didn't have anything to say.
I was like, oh no, it worked. Didn't plan for that.
Now I actually have to do something.
Sorry. So I mean, there's always a lot to talk about. Where do we want to dive in? Do we want to dive in at the People's Summit stuff? That always seems to be a topic.
Sure.
Do we want to talk about the hit pieces on people? Do we want to talk about the DNC lawsuit? Oh, did you see?
There's still.
press- Did you see the press release by Jared Beck?
Yeah.
Yes, I did.
Yeah.
Yes, I did.
Let's start there. How about that? That they actually
Yeah.
filed a motion for protection.
Good.
They should.
I'm
Yeah.
actually-
They should.
Good, I'm glad. Plus, especially all the shady stuff that's going on,
And-
sorry.
Oh no, go keep going.
They just might as well. I mean, their lives are very valuable.
Yeah.
And plus, what they're doing is a very important work.
I liked how they added in that Seth might have been the leaker part. So
Oh, fuck yeah.
what I so when Nico was streaming it, I was thinking, I mean, there weren't a lot of people watching it, so I restreamed his live stream, and of course had it say it's a live stream from him.
You
Because
got
he-
it just at the right time too.
Yeah, I know. I was lucky. And what would be awesome to do is, because it's really breaking news, and when corporate mainstream media has breaking news, when you go to one channel, all the channels are playing the exact same thing. It'd be awesome if we could have independent media do the same thing. When it's really breaking news, everyone live streams that live stream. That
I like
way,
that.
you get all the views out there. Because people who are subscribed to like 4 or 5 different channels, they all see that there's a breaking news live stream going on, and it gets people's
Yeah,
attention. saying-
they all get an alert for
Yeah.
that happening. That's
then-
a good idea.
Yeah, so that's what I was thinking, and that's kind of what I would love to see independent media do, is kind of collaborate together and say, hey, we're gonna have a breaking live stream thing. Can you restream it, type of thing? And so people.
Well, Twitter's actually perfect for that, because that's how I immediately saw it on Twitter.
Yeah. The problem is some people don't use Twitter. Some people don't
Yeah.
use YouTube either. A lot more people seem to use Facebook. But like, yeah, try to have something where it just sends to everyone that there's a breaking news from all these people in indie media on Facebook, on Twitter, on YouTube, on Periscope. Um,
Is
and
there is there an after hours Facebook group?
no,
Yeah.
if you guys want to create one, that'd
I
be
think
awesome.
that's a good idea.
Because my Facebook, I know, I think there's a couple of people that are trying to add me. I might have added one person like Bram or something, but like it's kind of a private Facebook account. So but I don't know how you create a public one. I really don't want to create a public one. So this is what this is.
Supposedly, if you have duplicate accounts, they may erase one of them
Okay.
from time to time. I haven't really seen it, but if you become controversial enough, then then they may hit you. But I haven't really. I heard like about a month ago, a couple people got their got duplicate accounts taken out, but I haven't really heard that much of an issue about it.
Yeah. So, Christian and Garden, you guys haven't been on lately. What do you got? What's on you guys' minds?
I mean, I watched a little bit of your guys' episode last night, from last night, and it was really, really engaging stuff, about healthcare and about labels, which was, definitely related to the question I asked Tim that other day, about, having no parties, the potential of having no political parties. And just this whole thing with the DNC lawsuit going on, and Jared and Elizabeth filing that motion to ask for protection, which I definitely think they should. I mean, I think it would have been a giant mistake if they hadn't, and God forbid something happened to them or happened to another person that's close to them. I think I read somewhere that over the weekend somebody from that same county died, like another official. I don't know if you guys could clarify or not, or if you know what I'm talking about. Another person that was somewhat involved in the case, or that was going to be involved in the case, mysteriously vanished or got killed, something like that. And so hearing this now from Jared and Elizabeth, following this, going forward with this action is, it's needed. It's, it's a good thing, and they should do it, just in case. We don't know what these people are capable of,
Mm-hmm.
Where you have Sean Lucas's death, Seth Rich, obviously, and the countless other vanishings and mysterious murders that have taken place over the years,
Yeah. So, what do you think would happen if something did happen to anyone on that team?
I mean, if it were anyone on that team, again, I think optimistically speaking, I think it would open up more eyes that, our political system is so corrupt that these people that are in power, that are in our government, are so corrupt and inherently evil that they won't resort to nothing. I mean, they will resort to anything, I should say.
But wouldn't they just say it's just another conspiracy theory? That
I mean, I'm sure there'll be some. I mean, they're always going to have that mixed bag of people who will brush it off as just another conspiracy theory, or all the liberals, the libtards, spewing their BS, or the damn hippies, damn commies, whatever. But I think I think, if it would be so convenient, you know what I mean? That if, they have this huge lawsuit going on that really paints the DNC in a horrible light, and the things that have already come out, already the realizations that we already had, with the whole them saying that, oh, we could go into the back room and smoke cigars and we could decide who was the candidate that way, who's the Democratic nominee that way, amongst other things. It's already been damaging enough, and to conveniently have one of the people from the legal team, from the prosecutors, mysteriously vanish or die. I mean, I don't think that it would be too much of a stretch to conclude that the DNC or W. Wasserman Schultz had some kind of hand in that. So I think if that were to happen, I think you would have more people connecting the dots as opposed to just brushing it off, saying, oh, it's a conspiracy theory, oh, it's just, fake news or whatever.
I think why I think this DNC fraud lawsuit is important is because the mainstream media isn't covering it. Because if the DNC lawsuit wins, and seeing how mainstream corporate media hasn't covered almost any of it, and then all of a sudden it becomes news, and then people see that, hey, there's been people in independent media trying to cover it and just get it out there for months or years, however long it takes. I think that will open up a lot more people to seeing how mainstream corporate media operates, because they're already kind of being seen as, yeah, we don't really quite trust them, but what else is there? But then people will start saying, hey, we've been covering it for months and years, so there's options out there. I think that's what's going to be great.
I would say too that there's the DNC fraud lawsuit. There's no doubt that they're afraid of this. The DNC is afraid of discovery. So I mean that's the big thing. And as far as like the thing today, I mean, they have every right to be worried about their safety. I mean, just sort of, hey, let's put it this way. I'm one of those people that says I can see where the dots are. I just need more evidence to sort of connect the dots. You know what I mean? And so I believe I definitely tend towards believing it. It's just I really would love to see some proof. Some hard stuff to be able to. And I know that the discovery of the DNC is going to show us proof that they fixed the primary, but it's the proof of the larger conspiracy. That it would be great if they could find proof that would really be rock solid, and didn't get brushed under the rug. But that's my biggest worry, and I think things like today. There's two different things that this could be too, besides just being good from the keeping them safe standpoint. The idea also of it is publicity, and B, it could be in some weird way a legal ploy, because if you can get somebody to respond to your sort of question, if you can get a response, you know what I mean? If you can get a public response to something, it might, lead to more, is my thinking. But that's just like, who knows? I have no legal mind. It's just a general, like, wow, that would be a cool way to do it,
If this was like an average person, instead of pointing towards like, the DNC or somebody powerful, if this was pointing towards just an average person, they would have already had the warrant. They would have already sent the police over to ask questions. I mean, that's the first thing they do. They say, who's got the motive? Oh, well, let's see. Who does have the motive here? And it's not like, they're afraid of killing civilians. I mean, they conspired to have Martin Luther King Jr. assassinated. who's just these other people.
When they first came on, I first heard it and heard Jared talking, I kind of like, I don't know, my stomach just sank because I thought, oh God, they're not saying they're dropping it, are
That's
they?
what I thought.
Oh,
I feared that as well. I was like, oh,
Don't do that to us.
I know, right?
I knew they weren't gonna drop it though. I knew. I had that in my mind. I knew they were not gonna drop it at all.
good. I'm glad you
They're
knew.
too deep in. Yeah, they can't drop it now. They're too deep in.
Yeah.
I know, but I mean, at some point, I mean, if it's really dangerous, as they're saying, if that's actually true, I don't know. I had this fear. I was like, oh God, please no. You have to go through with this, But I do really, it just made me, watching that video today of Jared made me really just appreciate him even more because they're really operating on it's just them. And
I mean, this is his credibility on the line as well with this. Because I'm sure most lawyers probably would not have wanted to touch this case with a 10-foot pole.
no, of course not.
And and I mean, obviously, for us, we can see the a case behind it, but for most of them, it's the DNC. It's just the second. It's one of the two largest political organizations on the planet, and the second largest in terms of overall funding.
Mhm.
That is a monolith to try and take. So
Right.
you either have to be somebody of such utter brilliance and competence that you think that you can take on whoever else that they can bring, or you just have to be that brave or foolish enough to try.
Right. And I guess, there is somewhere, I guess people are donating, right? How are they?
Well, the lawsuit, on my understanding, is the lawsuit itself has to be sort of self-funded. That's part of the lawsuit's deal. And so they're self-funding it as far as I know.
Yeah, Jared was mentioning that in his interview with Tim, that they basically self-fund their lawsuits, and that he was saying that, we're not fancy people, we don't go out that much, we don't
Right.
spend our money extravagantly. Yeah.
I didn't remember specifics.
And oh, hell's bells. One argument against that nobody could say that they were trying to go for some kind of publicity stunt kind of thing, because if it was a publicity stunt, they wouldn't have done it during the Sessions hearings.
Yes.
I mean, they if you're going to do something like that, you don't do it on like the biggest news day of the year, for the CNNs out there.
Mm-hmm.
You do it when it's a lull,
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
I mean, if you were looking for an ulterior motive, I don't see it there.
I wonder how long it's going to take, all of this.
Well,
a long time.
The other thing that we can't forget here, aside from all the 3D Candyland stuff that these organizations like to play, is people were cheated. They were cheated of their time and their money, and they deserve redress before a court.
Right.
And to me, that's what's important here, because if they don't get redress, then it's just another example of the will of citizens being subverted.
Right. When we were in Philly for DNC week, and I was walking all around with this woman that had been in charge of something to do with the counting, vote tally in Chicago. But anyway, I just happened to run into her, and she knew a lot of people and was talking to a lot of Bernie delegates. But I mean, there were people just crying in the bathroom. Like, I've been working on this for a year, and Tim talks about that, how people just took time off from work, and people that couldn't afford it put so much into it, and
only to get torn down.
All to get taken
There's a
advantage
lot
of.
of anger.
Exactly. And I'm not sure what that is. That's not me.
It's the CIA.
Oh. Oh shit! It's Steve.
Oh, welcome, welcome CIA.
Wait,
That's
wait,
all
CIA.
Welcome to Revolution Central.
sorry, I gotta do something. CIA.
I know, right?
Sorry.
Oh yeah. I have a
if
balloon
you-
for you, Gary. Hold on.
If you wanted an invite to our commune, all you had to do was ask.
I don't really know how this works.
I give a 5, 4, 3, 2, 1s.
I realized something earlier, and I know Stevie's here too, but that's okay. Stevie and Ariel are great, but I realized something that I love.
Shameless.
It's all mostly guys, and I love it because I have 3 sisters, and I don't know, I get along with guys better.
That's
Being married, it's kind of weird to have a lot, like we get together with other couples, like our kids, parent, and I'm always talking to the dads, and so I just wanted to say I enjoy it because it's not just girly talk.
There's a decent amount of women though that, I mean, what is it, 40% or something? What do you guys think? 30% of the stream is the regular
Yeah,
people?
that's
women?
true. And I'm
30,
sorry,
40%?
I'm going to be called sexist now for saying that. Women one-on-one are fine. I don't get along with groups, like cliques of women. That's my problem, I guess.
I can get
Does that
that.
make sense?
No, I get that.
By the way,
I kind of get that same way about guys, to be honest. I love you guys, don't get me wrong, and I hang out with plenty of groups of guys, but it's just like at a certain point, like I have other things that I'm interested in other than explosions.
Yeah, we'll see. Like I don't find this with Stevie and Ariel, but with a lot of women, I just feel like, I don't know. With guys, it's what you see is what you get.
Yeah.
Not a lot of
You were gonna say something?
I don't know.
That's Stevie.
What the heck is that noise coming from?
That's from Stevie.
Probably the FBI.
Oh. She's trying to say something.
Yeah, Director Moeller.
I know, Director It's Comey trying to chime in.
Just come on in. Load up your mic.
Kelly, did you read any of that stuff on the fusion centers?
Not very much. I read a little bit when I was at the airport, actually, but no, I haven't gotten through. It's shocking though what I did read.
It's wild.
Yeah. Anyway, am I getting hate over here for saying what I did about women? I hope not. Anyway,
we adopt here at the After Hours Progressive Soapbox. We take the Rick Sanchez approach of we don't give a fuck.
Okay, well, good. That's who I am. So I say stuff sometimes that's like last night and my healthcare thing. But anyway, no. Hey, Broken, will you tell us more about what you know about the fusion centers?
No, because like my memory isn't. I would, but I even reread like a lot of those articles, and my memory isn't good enough to do it justice. And without sort of sitting here and reading out of the articles, I wouldn't be able to do it. I mean, it would be hard for me to do. But I mean, it's basically how we're that all of the movement politics in America are being watched by the fusion centers, and there are these centers that are set up of state, local, and federal law enforcement agencies, and they all share information.
Hey guys.
And
is there some documentation?
Triggered.
Like official documentation that discusses these, because I imagine that they obviously have some sort of public apparatus.
Yeah, well, yes. There's been a lot of written on it. There has been FOIA disclosures that have shown that they've spied on They spied on the Occupy protest. They spied on Black Lives Matter.
Right.
They spied on activists around the. I'm trying to think of which RNC. I think around the St. Paul.
Which cabal was it?
Around the St. Paul convention, RNC convention.
Oh wow.
But anyhow, so that's why I kind of sent him to Kelly, because I thought she was probably better. Her memory was better and could correlate all that information down to some better info than what I'm giving you.
Well, I'll dig through some more. I started with what
I'm already digging.
Standing Rock.
Jim's digging already. I'm a digger.
Mm.
Okay, so in regards to Beck coming on today, I mean, I caught that live.
Wait, Beck? Oh, yeah, Jared Beck.
Jared Beck, when he came on, I really sensed, I was like, no, don't say it, don't say it, don't say it.
That's funny.
And then, I mean, we all were there except for Eric. Eric had full faith, but we all think that way because of David and Goliath is not a good analogy, and that doesn't do what they're up against justice. I would say it's more like them against the universe. It's that
right.
huge proportionally to them. And like I said before, I don't understand. What's sad is I've never given anything. I feel bad. So we have to start. People need to do something. We've got to find a way to support these people and keep that movement moving.
Mm-hmm.
And still, it's just there's just so many. I mean, Garden Gnome, I think, was on earlier talking about this before I jumped on, and he says there's just so many dots and everything just kind of points. I mean, in with any other person, and Red brought this up, or Stevie. There's so many different names of these people here, but Stevie, I mean, if it was anybody else, if it was you or I on the other side of the fence, or on the other side of the court, we'd be done. This would be done already. We'd be incarcerated. We'd be investigated. Well, we'd be investigated, full-blown investigation, blah, 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 blah. I mean, and just the plethora and the tsunami would hit us immediately. But there are people out there, like the police department, like right there. When Wasserman Schultz ends her session with the director of the police department, I don't know the guy's name, but I mean, it's on video. There will be consequences.
There will be consequences.
I mean, you see, why didn't somebody at that point say, what exactly are you talking about consequences? What consequences are you referring to? Nobody said that. Nobody even asked. And that would have just said, well, I mean, I could have seen her stutter if somebody did something to challenge these people. But nobody's really has the gonads, the balls. A lot of them are intimidated, and it is the universe against Jared Beck, and it's just amazing that the Green Party isn't. I mean, what an opportunity for a party to grow.
Did you guys? Did anybody read the I don't think Tim talked about this. Sorry, I didn't see everything. But did you guys read the Beck's the papers, the documents that were attached? And it talked about someone, I can't remember where, out west. I want to say Minnesota or somewhere. The person that said their laptop was like that they believe the house was looking into. And did anybody read that? Yvonne, did you read that? Oh, you're busy. You're multitasking.
No. Sorry, could you repeat that?
I didn't read the extra papers. I was going to read them afterwards.
You mean the transcripts?
Yes. So the part about whoever it is that their house was broken into, or they felt like.
What? Are you serious?
Yeah. Yeah. Just click on I think it was on Twitter, there's a link to the Beck's page, and then you can click on the documents.
On Jam Pack.
Yes.
Yeah, that was trying to think of the name of it. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm trying to look at it.
If you go to the live stream, I think I put those links to that document.
Mhm.
So you can get it from there too.
Like, I don't understand if this is the DNC doing this, like, are they trying to make their entire life story a Hollywood film?
So they.
Well, I think you got to remember part of it is that they feel like they can get away with anything. So I can see where they know that it's not going to be in the news, and it's not going to be covered by anybody else. And as much as like Yvonne was saying, there's been sort of a concerted attack against indie media.
Right.
So, just another dot that seems to line up with something else.
Mhm. Well, we can think of Woodward and Bernstein. I mean, it's possible that's what I keep hoping for. I mean, my God, if that doesn't happen, what the hell is going to happen in this country?
Well,
it's got to break.
Eventually, they'll mess up and they'll get caught. I mean, that's what happens. Like I said, it's like a serial killer. They get used to getting away with it for so long, but eventually they're going to
get bored.
Yeah, something will happen.
They get careless.
They get careless, and they keep pushing it further and further and further, and eventually it'll come back on. Who knows how long it could be without people really digging or trying to hold them accountable. That's kind of the point. It's like, just because they'll eventually get caught doesn't mean we want to get lazy and not do what we can to bring it out to light. Before that happens.
Right.
The investigators and the police aren't going to stop trying to catch a killer, and wait. They're going to keep trying to catch him and hope that he messes up at some point, makes it easier to catch him. So that's kind of the deal.
Yeah. Well, I'm trying to find, now I can't find that particular section of it. If anybody else has pulled it up, maybe they want to read part of it, I'll keep looking. But I thought it was just a link right from, maybe it was on Facebook. But anyway, yeah, it's someone who claimed that their house was broken into and the laptop was tampered with. I don't know.
That's nuts.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
I can't find it now. I'm looking.
So as I was saying at the end, I really believe, and it just drives me crazy that I don't see a lot of support. It's almost like a lot of people are believing that it's more of a conspiracy. Well, of course, the Democrats are. Of course, the Republicans are kind of. But I'm talking about the Green Party. I mean, I'm surprised the Green Party isn't. I mean, what an opportunity for them to come in as being the stronger, more viable, more trustworthy, more honest party after the DNC gets, sent off to jail, which I think could easily happen. I sense it happening. A good friend of mine I've known him since I was a kid. He's a district attorney in Santa Ana, and I've actually gotten out of jury duty just mentioning his name, which is good. But the thing is we've had these conversations about the people he apprehends. He goes, it's like they want to get caught, Jim.
Yeah.
Criminals want to get caught. It's like an attention thing. And he actually said there was like these psychology studies they went to and these classes where they, it pretty much indicated to them that these criminals would find ways to leave clues on how to get apprehended eventually. And I think that's what the DNC is going to do. I think that's whoever these people are that all colluded and connected together and decided to do all these heinous and terrible and pathetic and destructive acts of crap. I think they're all going to get theirs, and I think if we can find a way to keep Jared Beck and that fraud suit alive and get Kim.com to, which Eben and I think that he's full of shit, post something all over the masses, because we know he's not going to sit down in a hearing in front of Congress. That'll never happen. And we already know that you can do a deposition anywhere across the planet.
I found this now, and now I'm questioning myself because I'm like, okay, it's on, if you go to Twitter, the DNC fraud lawsuit, which is the Bex, retweeted. No, wait a minute. I may have just been fooled, possibly.
I've heard of that. It's out there. I'll find it.
There's an article. No, I found the papers, and now I'm wondering if they're legit because it wasn't on the Jampack site. So there's an article that is on disobedientmedia.com, and you click on that, and it takes you to a link, and it looks like a legit document. But now I'm wondering if this is for real. It says Angela Monson, a resident of Dassel, Minnesota, and named plaintiff in this action, says that on June 3rd. Well, anyway, do you guys see that article? It's if you go to Twitter and you look through on the DNC fraud lawsuit Twitter page, it's like the second tweet. No, wait, third tweet down.
We're all searching, bunch of searchers.
Yeah. So, well, I mean, I want everybody to see it because I was usually more careful than that, but now I'm going, wait a minute, is that?
We're web surfing. That's what we're doing.
If you go to their Twitter page, it's the like third one down, and it says Elizabeth Leah Voss replying, and it says disobedientmedia.com.
Right.
You click on that, and then when you go to that article, there's a link in there, and it says they filed a motion. If you click on motion, then it goes.
Where is that?
It's in the article by Elizabeth Voss.
Gotcha.
And then it says that they filed a motion to the court, and there's a link. And
Now it says Exhibit 5.
Yeah, it takes you to a very legit looking document, but now I'm just kind of wondering. You know, anytime something is not directly from a source, I'm always like, somebody could make this up. I'm just saying, I wish we could ask the Becks, hey, is this the real deal? Case entered on June 13th. Now, there might be a way to search court records online or something. I don't know. But I don't know if this is legit or not. But
well, we got to be careful.
Yeah.
Anytime. I mean, I don't know if we're getting a lot of likes or people like listening to us, but of course, when we do say things, you know, we have to say, and HA does this a lot, presumptively, or my
allegedly,
or in my professional opinion, or this is just my perspective, which I think is important.
Yeah, I'm saying right now, I don't know about this. So
the question I have is why is it in the third person? Right. I mean, the court documents, I don't know. It seems a little funny to me. I've seen plenty of court documents. I don't remember even statements like this being in the third person.
Yeah.
And now you have this weird page 4. Well, it's signed. It is signed, but and it does say, I declare under penalty of perjury that the foregoing is true and correct, blah, blah, blah. But how does anybody know that that's actually her signature? I don't know. And why would this be out on the internet so quickly?
Well, the other one.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Well, Jampack uploads theirs. and it might be a supporting document to what they put out today. And so that's a possibility.
I wonder
But,
if they would answer if we tweet. I'll tweet at them and see if they answer.
They're groovy. I dig them. I really like them.
Oh yeah, I do too. Let's see.
E3.
If you get them on the show, whoever does moderate it or whatever, if you get Ely back or Elizabeth Beck on, or Jared Beck, or and get to talk about it, ask them. Besides the FCC case, the Madigan case or whatever it is, what other supporting cases are good to read to understand what's happening? Because I read that one, and that one's pretty cool. And I read their the court transcript from the DNC and them, and so like besides this thing I got tonight, I got to look for and read. It'd be cool to have another like next back, whatever sort of things they're that back their case, to understand it.
Mm-hmm. All right, so these guys are scared. Just real quick.
When are they not scared?
What?
That really came across, didn't it? I mean, he looked.
Yeah, they're scared. I'd be pissing my pants every day I woke up if I was able to wake up. Like I said, they're against the universe, a colossal, like Elio said. But the thing is, and they're requesting protection. There's nothing wrong with that.
Yep.
Because and they indicate when he's telling everybody, due to this person, Lucas did it in the whole 9 yards, but I think he also mentioned those names to bring some attention to it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that would not be a bad idea to do. The DNC law fraud, the $270 million, my money's in there. I went out door to door for Bernie, knocking on doors, getting chased off of properties by crazy conservatives, mostly old men that were like a third of my size. Oh, I ain't gonna vote this. Crap it. I'm okay. Just letting you know, just making sure you're voting. Just and then of course I represent Bernie, but and this happened like every other house in the area of Huntington Beach that I was doing it at.
Mm-hmm.
But the thing is, and I think if the $270 million suit comes, I think I spent. Let me see, how much should I claim? I think it was $1.2 million.
Oh.
Oh well, maybe $120, but still.
they're basically.
But I was out there, man, and I remember that feeling. And I posted on my Facebook when Bernie said, I reserve my right and all this stuff, and I elect Hillary.
Was that not just like the sickest feeling?
That was the most sickest, illest feeling I've had since I got a DUI like 10 years ago.
And I remember, and again, if anybody's watching, I have no evidence. I'm just going to preface it with that. But when Seth Rich was killed, I went, what the hell? I had a really just like, something's not right here. That was just my feeling, okay? But
and
then
Lucas too.
A couple of days later, then he just a complete turn. Like, he seemed like he was going to the convention. There was no wavering. And then it was like that happened and it all just went. And that's why that, and also then, so I watched the where he endorsed her, part of it. I couldn't really stomach a lot of it. And then shortly after, I think that night, and I have tweeted this repeatedly, there is a video online. If you Google on YouTube, Democratic goon rip Bernie sign, you'll find it. And it just made me feel so sick. Like, what is this fucking country we're living in? Because it's a shot in the crowd where there were people outside of that gymnasium or whatever it was in New Hampshire where he endorsed her, saying that they wouldn't let them in. Well, there were people that were already in that had Bernie signs, and Democratic, I guess, bodyguards or whatever were going around and ripping Bernie signs out of people's hands. And there are these two women, and they're probably in their 50s, I guess, maybe. Small, nobody, imposing, or they weren't going to charge the stage or anything. They're standing there with their signs. And this guy in a suit, with the earpiece and all, he keeps going like this to like grab it. And
I've seen videos like that on YouTube. It's really fucking disgusting.
You gotta see that one though, because I saw that and I swear I cried. I was like, "What in the hell is going on?" On CNN, you see.
Yeah, but they were throwing chairs. You know that, right?
Yeah, right.
And it was the same thing at the convention too. They had the noise maskers, and they were excluding people from the convention and marking off seats.
Right.
I mean, this started even before that.
Yeah. And that's what made.
Yeah, I mean, it was obvious from day one that they had their candidate, and that was going to be it.
But that sense as an American, I mean, that sense of like realizing that what's on TV is an alternate universe. And so I felt that before we went to Philly, and then to see it in person, we were standing there where the cage was and where they had the democracy coffin, and we filmed it and all, but none of that was on the news. So if you weren't there, you're like, oh, look at the pretty balloons. Isn't that nice?
Well, Kelly, I mean, what you're saying, it reminds me, it's like flashbacks from like George W. Bush. Remember when they created free speech zones? That was a shocker for me. I remember when that went down. And I said, well, last time I checked, I thought all of America was a free speech zone. And so now, though, it's become more and more, I don't know, are people really publicly accepting that? I mean, it seems like it at the DNC, the whole convention, it was like, well, we have a little free speech zone behind this fence where you can say what you want to, but you can't come in here because this isn't a free speech zone here.
And I think it was like 2 weeks after that, or maybe not even that long, Orlando Castile was shot. And I just happened to catch it like Sean King tweeted it out. And I happened to catch it like immediately after it happened, or maybe when it was like not even finished, or no, I guess it already aired. But so that whole like couple of weeks, I was just like, oh my God, what is going on? Like reality is this.
Yeah.
What we're supposed to believe is this, and reality is like this crazy shit,
There are times I just have to really take a break and not tune into any of it, because I'm really very spiritually and kind of psychically sensitive. And, like James was talking about the killings, like the Lucas and the Sethrich, and those things make me feel ill inside. They make me feel really unsettled, like on a deeper level than just mentally. It's like, because I can really, I've done, psychic work with people who have had, someone killed. And I've actually, it's a little bit like medium, I guess, it's a little bit like that where you can get sensations and perceptions. And so when something's really wrong, or there's this really miscarriage of justice, for me, sometimes it's like a vibration, and it makes it hard to sleep, and it makes it hard to feel restful inside, especially when it's kind of vibrating all around the world and everybody's feeling it. So it's tough sometimes to really key into it all the time. Sometimes I really have to decompress and kind of, because.
Well, I hope you guys all go look that up. I'll tweet it again. I should tweet it every damn day because it's so shocking. But just put in YouTube Democratic Goon, because that's what somebody titled it. I don't know. Democratic Goon rips Bernie sign, and you will be shocked. It's just, to me, maybe it's just my reaction, but I thought, whoa, okay, they don't want the CNN camera to pan the crowd and see Bernie signs up.
Well, they have the white noise machines to try to muffle the Bernie supporters. And of course, we know they turned the lights off on the Bernie supporters. They tried everything they could to get all the Hillary supporters to cover them with their signs and all kinds of stuff.
I love how they did things to mark out the letters on the Hillary signs to say other things.
Yes.
That was good.
For liar, I love that too.
Or when when Hillary or when Sarah Silverman came up there. And people were trying to chant. I forget exactly what the chant was, but Al Franken was like, Hillary, Hillary.
Oh, it was painful.
And then that was painful. And then, like, then she gets up there and this makes the most snide, elitist
You're being ridiculous.
And then as an offside to Franken, she's like, they told us to kill time or something. You can hear it in the mic.
Oh my god!
And it's all just performance and all fun for them,
No, the worst. Yeah. No, definitely the worst part was the Sarah Silverman comment because basically her job was to keep everybody entertained, and then she just used it as a platform to piss people off.
Well,
she got hacked, and that was funny.
There's going to come a day when someone's going to get up on a stage like that, and they're going to say something like that, and the crowd will surge them.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's the point that we're coming to.
Well, Sorry.
Pitchforks, baby, pitchforks.
Yes.
Where can you get a good pitchfork? I've been watching all this French Revolution history. I need to get me some good, assorted, metal things on big poles. They've always
get some spears, get some swords.
Well, Sarah Silverman then, I think it was a couple of months ago now. So I think post-election for sure. She did some interview with Bernie, and I thought, you don't get to fucking do that now. Pardon me.
I know that was so. I was pissed off at Bernie.
Oh, geez, Bernie is.
Well, you know what you do.
Too weak. He's too weak. He's too easily bought into the system.
Yeah.
You know what you do with celebrities? You don't charge them with pitchforks. You turn around and you walk away.
Yeah.
I don't give a crap about
absolutely true.
I don't care. I don't care who a celebrity who a celebrity goes for. As far as Bernie being weak, I understand where you're coming from. I also understand that I kind of get where Bernie's coming from because, as I said before, he didn't really get headway for 40 years, and then all of a sudden, he got some attention being in quote unquote being in the Democratic Party. Running in the primary. No, he didn't win. And yes, he got shafted, but he finally got some attention. I think he's going to outsmart himself. He thinks he's smarter than the DNC and the Democratic Party. I don't think he's weak. I think his ego is going to get in the way.
Yeah.
I agree.
That's what
I
think.
I agree that he thinks that he can outsmart the DNC. But on the same token, just to sit there and just let your supporters get cheated, show no support for them.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No,
guys,
I agree with that.
Here.
So,
and then get pissed off when we go independent.
Mm-hmm.
Well, to be fair, he also was the guy who said, "If I tell you who to vote for, don't listen to me." So, I guess
that's like Joe Manchin saying, "Go ahead and primary me." Okay, we got that.
But I thought he was always pretty consistent with the. It's not up to me. It's up to you.
Yeah, that's not
right. Hey, don't be making fun of Joe Manchin. Elizabeth Warren really likes him.
No, you know what? I'm so
they're like buddies.
Did you guys see
check my YouTube channel?
The TYT? Yep. Did you guys see the TYT interview with Warren?
I did.
Yes, I did.
I didn't, but I did see Jamal Thomas's takedown of it, and that was beautiful.
Yeah.
So does anybody want to just to lighten it up a little bit? We were talking about celebrities. Does anybody want to talk about I don't know. I kind of have this sense of the people that ended up pissing me off, like Sarah Silverman. I realized she always kind of annoyed me anyway. I tried to watch, what was that? What was that movie? Oh, they're Western, and it had Neeson. But I just thought she was obnoxious, and I'm trying to be oh yeah,
she is obnoxious. It's all cutesy and pee jokes, and I never really saw what anyone saw in Sarah.
Yeah, but so same with Amy Schumer. Some of it was.
Oh God, her. She's
but
not.
I'm realizing that
she's gross.
She's a joke stealer.
Yeah, it's a matter of depth. There's no depth there. You know, I mean, when Chris Hayes challenges Susan Sarandon has like tons of depth. You know, I mean, she
There's a
can go.
difference.
You know, and when he says something like, "So what are you doing for people in Africa?" And she says, "Well, as a matter of fact, I am doing this, this, and this." Being able to back up what you're saying is not something that those people that I feel like a lot of the celebrity types that went behind Hillary didn't have the same kind of depth.
No.
And
but do you know what I mean? Like, you realize you could kind of tell before. Like, I'm not shocked. You know what I mean? Like, you can tell which ones. It's not really surprising, I guess.
Yay, Snork! He's got a webcam.
Yes.
Yeah, I know. That's cool, by the way. Hey, Snark.
Far out.
Wait, where's Stark?
The other thing too is, I mean, Susan's
Oh, he's muted though.
an older person. She's got a lot more experience, a lot more years behind her, and she's seen a lot more. So she's going to have a better, beat on when something's full of crap.
Exactly. I mean, that's what I love and respect about Susan Sarandon. Plus, she voted for the Green Party.
No,
I like to say, now someone.
Yeah, so here, this
She's
is important
been an
now. This is important. I think a lot of celebrities, George Clooney. Okay, I know. Just wait. So a lot of these celebrities that come out, Silverman, Clooney, there's a lot of them that, in my opinion, just from my perspective, they only hear. They watch TV. They watch MSNBC. They watch CNN. They don't come on. They don't hang out with us.
Yeah.
They're not going to get this kind of information. They don't go to our Facebooks. They don't go to our Twitters. They're in a different place, and that's where a lot of people are. They're in a place where everything is all things bright and beautiful and fantastic and terrible.
They're bubble wrapped.
They're bubble wrapped.
Amy Schumer.
Hey, well, hold on. I got to do something. I have to erase your memories.
Uh-oh.
I just pulled a Men in Black on you guys.
What happened?
That was a Men in Black. I had to do a Men in Black on you guys, which I think they did to Seth Rich.
Did you hear that Amy Schumer was Chuck Schumer's niece? I think I just.
Oh yeah.
No, I thought it was it's the cousin.
What?
She's his
cousin? Oh, it's her. Yeah, she's her cousin. His cousin. But
also,
just because you're related to somebody doesn't mean anything.
Yeah. Oh, Kath Casey says that Sarah Silverman also used to date Sam Cedar.
Oh.
Oh well, there you go.
Yeah, that makes
her an expert.
And the thing I was saying about Sarandon is actually an activist in the trenches.
Yeah.
I mean, she has been
for a long time.
like she doesn't have she isn't necessarily she doesn't just have a nice charity that she gives to. You know what I mean? Or she runs a charity ball for or something. I mean, she actually does like going out and standing at Standing Rock or whatever. She'll go and use her, and now use her celebrity. Back when she wasn't real famous, she was still doing stuff. That's the thing.
Well,
it's not the fame. It's the fact that she used her fame to forward, for a better world, and that's generally what is missing in the other people.
And for her, in Philly, she's out there in the 100-degree heat, sweating with this hat with a hole in it. I just thought that was so cool. I mean, she's like can look like $1 million in a gown, for awards, or be out in the street with everybody else. I mean, I think it's that idealism that she has that, isn't she like 68 or something like that? But
65, I think.
I thought she was actually closer to 70, which shocked me. But I think it's idealism. It keeps you young, you just, I don't know. But
what do you think about Naomi Judd screaming about, grabbing
Oh,
people's
when
buttons?
Ashley Judd?
Do you mean
Ashley
the
Judd,
Women's March?
The nasty woman.
Yeah.
It's like it was like disgusting. It was
Yes.
it was a very nasty speech. Yeah, you're right, the free speech, but really, watch what you fucking say. I mean, that was like the nastiest thing she ever said. I mean, that was like female locker room. That was like very disgusting.
Yeah, and Madonna too. Ugh.
And the Madonna, like, it's like, here's one thing. It just proves that Hollywood, these celebrities that supported Hillary Clinton are really, really, truly out of touch with the American people. Honestly, with Susan Sarandon, she's more in touch with the American people. And,
she's just real.
Yeah, she keeps it real while everyone, keeps it fake and phony. I mean, yeah, the fake news, yeah, they buy into the bullshit because they're part of the bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's my real take. Honestly, it's either they're gonna sink in with the bullshit or keep it real, and they choose to sink in with the bullshit, and I don't like that, and that's why I don't support Hollywood, and this is why I don't like Hollywood in the first place. I mean, yeah, I like some kind of entertainment, but here's one thing: we're buying their movie tickets so they can capitalize off our emotions and all that other stuff. But we don't get like the real stuff in return. All they do is like, win, smug, phony awards, and like, ooh, I'm gonna say something smug and phony because that's what people want to hear. Oh, we would love to hear what you have to say. We love to hear your social issues, but not really care for them. Yeah, you really do give a shit. Really?
Well,
This is why we don't support them.
The news organizations own the movie studios that are using these actors. So of course they're going to be in bed with and spend this crap. So they,
Well, too, Eric, what you're touching on again is what Chris Hedges often says, and I'll say it again, is that, that's the trouble with the Democrats, is they like to talk a big story about the poor and act like they're going to support the poor, but they don't like the smell of the poor. That's the difference.
And the poor are supporting them, and that's like really, really sad. And that, it actually kind of, this is why I just really don't like Hollywood. And like, they claim to stand for something, but they really don't stand for shit. But that's most people in Hollywood.
It's easy to
they
talk
stand for
about
themselves.
these issues when you're standing in front of a bunch of people who think just like you at an awards show. Real easy. Go do that in front of someone done like you and get booed. They're not going to do that. That's why.
Well, remember this. Remember this.
I was like, oh, you're booing me? I'm the important celebrity. How? Oh, shocking for her.
I find it hard to believe that Katy Perry is worried about the environment with the amount of nylon and plastic fabric she goes through.
Oh no shit!
She's more worried about her
fake hair and.
There's a couple oil wells that just supply her clothing.
Yeah, she's gonna, I mean, I hate to say this, but she's gonna wear skin-tight clothes and sing about her vagina.
Well, I mean, but the thing about it is, I mean, she's embraced the whole plastic thing to a degree. I mean, to where she's just dripping in oil. You know what I mean? I mean, it's sort of.
Well, she's already singing about peacocks.
So I mean, well.
Wait, Snork is always here to educate us. I'm wondering if he's forward with this conversation.
For $50 million, I would oil up and put the makeup on, go for the $50 million, singing about her vagina.
I want to see that.
Now that's a smart man.
There's little I won't do for $50 million. Let's put it that way.
I don't know.
Everybody has a price. I told you. Everybody has a price.
I don't know. You can't fucking take it with you. I'm sorry. That's
true.
Good point.
Nobody on their deathbed says, gee, I wish I'd just worked a little more.
Yeah.
I wish I hadn't spent all that time with my family. Nobody says that.
Yep.
So anyway, guys, I've got a song for y'all, speaking of singing, and I've had a couple people tell me that I need to do it.
Oh, please do it.
Yeah, this is a rabble rouser. I was just thinking
Rabble,
of
rabble, 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 like on South Park. Rabble, 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 rabble.
this is from my my grumpy Scottish buddy Dick Dawkins. He's almost 70 years old, and I learned a lot of songs back in the day from him singing. And this is a good one to sort of get some solidarity amongst working folks. Come, all ye workers, you toil night and day, my hand and my brain, to earn your pay, who for centuries long past, from the dawn of your breath, have bled for your country and counted your debt in their factories and mills, in the shipyards and mines. You've often been told to keep up with the times, for our skills are not needed. They've streamlined the job, and through slide rules and stopwatch our pride's being robbed. But when the sky darkens and the prospect is war, who's given a gun and then pushed to the fore and expected to die for the land of our birth, though we do not own one handful of earth? We're the first ones to starve. We're the first ones to die. We're the first ones in line for that pie in the sky. And we're always the last when the cream is shared out. For the worker is working when the fat cat's about. Aye, and all of these things the worker has done, from tilling the field to carrying the gun. We've been yoked to the plow since time first began. Aye, you're always expected to carry the can.
Wow.
Yeah, woo!
Wow, I wish I could sing that well.
Wow.
Wow.
That was very nice.
You gotta stand.
This has become a variety show.
Yeah,
That's our song.
there we go.
I just hit the golden button.
Yeah, if you can find, if you look up Dick Gaughan, Gaghan, boy, he sang a lot of songs like that. He's a real socialist Scotsman, and that's one of his songs. But I've got quite a few more from him. So as we progress along, I'll drop a song on you every once in a while to
Drop an Irish bomb song on us.
Irish.
Yeah,
I'm
everybody
Irish.
get up and do
I burn
something.
very easily.
Wait, somebody needs a
Irish
gong. We need a gong.
I got sweet
Everybody
and
do
sour.
Oh, that's when I start singing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you
I
don't
got
want to
sweet
hear
and
me.
sour sauce. Now for the Katy Perry version. Ready?
My vagina, that. It's all about
She's gonna do it on the hood of a Bentley. That's what the music video is gonna be.
I've
With
only
English
sold
camel toe?
maybe 2,000 or 3,000 CDs. I don't know. She's probably got millions on me. So
I might actually, I don't know, but that song actually might be a really good one for my channel as a sort of an intro.
I'll lay it down for you anytime.
Oh, thank you.
That was really good.
The other one that I would say that reminds me of that is called "The World Turned Upside Down," and it's a historical song from the 1600s about a similar situation where there was a group of people called the Diggers. It's kind of a, anybody's into Celtic or history of the UK. That's like a big story. You'll know about the Diggers.
Now, if you could only sing "Roar" in Celtic,
Oh boy.
then you can.
Tim Black, he sure does roar. He's a Leo band, and he will. It really cracks me up. Like when you're just sort of, I'm like, yeah, the lion's roaring.
And the fiercest of beasts fear the lion's roar. If anyone pays attention to like Japanese television, they might get the reference.
Yep. Yeah, next time we broadcast, I'll sing you the Digger song.
Ooh, that would be nice.
So, yeah, I mean,
Maybe I'll have like a triggered song.
Trigger digger.
Yeah, I'm sure. Doesn't South Park have a triggered song?
No. They have a safe space song.
Safe space song.
Song.
Oh.
That's what that's what feels like Hillary Clinton. She's in that safe space.
Yeah.
Go back in the woods and stay there.
She's like she just keeps coming back.
Oh, I had this idea today. Does anybody draw, like really draw, like cartoon?
I do.
My daughter does actually, but she's busy working. So I saw someone's tweet. It was like in the middle of the night. And anyway, I kind of had this idea. I was like, oh, this would be a great cartoon. Oh, it was something about, the Democrats digging their heels in. I was like, you could have like
My Little Pony art. This is what I do.
Oh, wow.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, wow.
Wait,
Yeah.
can I see?
That's pretty good.
And
Wait, can I see? I didn't.
This was a commission.
Oh, wow.
And this is one I'm in the middle of. So this one's not completely done. You can just see the lines and stuff in it.
Ah, that is.
My girlfriend has drawing.
I love cartoon art, and I've always done comics and cartoon drawing.
Okay, so who wants to
Stephanie,
draw?
Stephanie Chateau does art too. She's an artist. She's
Who wants to draw my idea? So what it is it's Hillary, in a bad blue pantsuit and whatever near a tandem and a bunch of other people around, and there's like a banner that says "Onward Together," but they're standing in the sand, at the like beach, right? They're digging their heels in, and it's sinking down in, right? As the tide goes out, and there's a ship, and it says it's like the draft Bernie for People's Party thing, and then off in the distance could be like land, and on one side is like Trump Tower, and it's all dirty and smog, like the Onceler, the Dr. Seuss like scenes, and then over on the other side could be the Green New Deal and like ideal world. I don't know. I can't draw. It just I just thought of it, and I'm like, somebody needs to draw that, but I can't draw. So
There's a guy on Facebook that I gave a couple of ideas to, and he drew them. He was somebody with, I don't remember the exact site. I don't know if it was Daily Cause or some while back. I gave him a few ideas, and he did it. And I was like, yeah.
Well, I tried to
I'll find out who
tweet
that guy
out
is.
my idea because it just, I don't know, I could picture it, I could really picture it. And I thought, I don't know, maybe somebody.
Fiverr.com. Artists will draw a picture for $5.
Oh, okay. That's funny.
You'll find people on Fiverr.com that'll do anything for $5. That's what the place is for.
Anything?
Yeah, I suppose.
Actually, I'm going to go just a second. I think my daughter she did this drawing where it was like, it's the US and they're like, one is tugging on one side and one person on the other. It was really cool. She did it for like civics class, but I'll be back in a minute. I'm going to see if I can find it. Plus I'll be right back.
Hey, do you guys right now there's a 27-story building in England that's on fire. Did you guys know that?
Yeah, it's pretty
What?
bad.
No, I didn't
It's
know that.
totally gone already.
Wow.
Yeah, but what's really interesting is it hasn't fallen down or collapsed.
It won't fall down. There's no explosives in the basement.
Oh,
Jesus Christ.
yeah.
That's right.
I
Something
still
Not
not
covered
legal.
in nanothermite or whatever the hell they used.
For the Hindenburg?
Well, one of the 9/11 theories is that they covered the inside of the building with something called nanothermite that, was undetectable or whatever, and that's why there was molten lead under the building afterwards. I don't remember all the specifics, but
Okay, I just want to say, everybody, if you're going to talk about 9/11, get it all out, and then maybe Zork might add a couple of words we don't understand.
It's this is recorded.
Yeah, there it is. So anyway,
About the thermite.
all I can say is
I will agree.
Jim and I have gone over this, and it's pretty amazing how obvious everything is, where it just does not equate to what was portrayed by the media. pretty
And
obvious.
Donald Trump
Yeah.
said he wants
I
to
think
say
we agree there.
he wants to know what happened at 9/11 when he was going to become president, and now he's president, and now we can call him out on it.
I wouldn't rule out that the trumpet was involved.
No, I don't think he was involved at all. But he said he was going to want to find out who was responsible for 9/11, and I think that would actually be the perfect opportunity to actually do so.
No.
Well, it was
Well, let's put it this way: Trump's hooked into New York real estate,
That is correct.
and those towers were like giant real estate. So, I mean, look at it wherever you want, but that's.
But let's also remember, Trump isn't really interested in the whole construction aspect.
I don't think anyone would trust Trump with that kind of information.
Hey, what
I
happened
mean, he
with?
calls out fake news.
I mean,
As well.
can you imagine if you found out if Area 51 existed?
Blah, 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 I'm going on Twitter. That's what
No, Mr. President, no!
I'm like, oh.
And you,
Whatever.
I'm like,
all the while the Steve
Whenever
Bannon
anybody
comes in Area
brings
51.
this up, whenever anybody brings up 9/11, I always just my patent answer is just there are questions, and there is no doubt there are questions, and that's where I stand on it. I can't tell you one way or the other what happened, but
Yep, that's all.
It's not a conspiracy theory.
I actually found it.
Oh no, I don't even consider it that. I look for people that actually know what they're talking about.
Areas 47 and 51 really exist, but everybody mistakes them for the wrong place. They are not Plant 42.
Like for me, in regards to 9/11, it's it's a personal thing for me because I actually lost somebody in 9/11, and I've had these stuff like you guys are alluding to relayed to me, and definitely I would not doubt that they're true. That the government or this was somehow planned, schemed, somehow.
One of the companies I can't remember which floor, only had one survivor, and he was a terrorist explosion expert.
Right.
And he was in the hotel next door, and he had to get out of the hotel. He was in the shower when that happened. By the time he got out of the shower, the building was on fire, and his wife was calling him to see if he was okay. And he says, "I can't say anything. The building's on fire. I got to get out." And then, he barely got out holding his clothes, ran out in the street. And then the bodies were already falling.
Wow.
He gave a very in-depth, detailed analysis of the stages, and I've never heard them anywhere else. Everything else, what I would refer to as blue booking, where a bunch of experts are either voluntarily
9/11 is too personal
encouraged
for me.
to disseminate false information and to make such strange claims that it makes even the real claims, should they ever come out, appear to be conspiracy theory.
Yes,
Really?
that term originated with the UFO thing in the 50s and 60s.
Are you familiar with what really happened with Roswell?
No.
Okay. When the experiment that was mistaken for the Roswell event, engineers are not the best artists in the world. And the project that was for was something that they really did not want revealed. Sometimes the tiniest piece of information for an experiment can give away a project that could end up compromising agents' lives later on. The fears of the time, even our own sovereignty, was a threat with the tiniest piece of information. And they had a cover story to go with in case something happened and the public were to see any of the things of the test. again, the bodies were the best the engineers could do. They must have got the worst artist engineers you could imagine. They had plans for a series of spy planes coming up that would go to 98,000 feet and fly Mach 2. The plans originated even this was back in 46, 47. They were planning on these planes being built later, but they wanted to know the science behind what's going to happen if we have to eject at that height. Now, so much you're not trying to get the pilot to survive. You're trying to get the pilot to survive long enough to determine, do I need to destroy the pictures that we took? Or does it look like if I make it down to the ground that I can hand them over to our side? So the pilot is given the ability to commit suicide after destroying the film that would have been film at that time, or try to survive. So developing the means to get to 98,000 feet was pretty extreme in its own. And it needed a new substance that the public wasn't aware of for a few years yet, which was an aluminized plastic that allowed for a hydrogen-filled envelope to weigh very little and go to extreme height without losing its lift envelope, because hydrogen likes to go through everything. So in getting this capsule up, which was meant to go up to 98,000 and release the two astronauts and let them fall to the ground and see what the bodies would do. So they were realistically weighted to what a human would be in the place, even if they did a poor job of making them look human. So when it failed, it went down and public saw it right away. And the public was quite used to aluminum foil on and other foil wrappers on cigarettes, everything. At that time, it was all done with real metal that was crinkly. You bent it at all and it took a crease. It crumpled up and it didn't crumple back to the way it used to look. You just could not make it look flat again. Suddenly you have a material that as soon as you let it go, it whips back into shape. And people started saying, I saw the bodies. And of course, the bodies weren't too much different from the pictures that people draw. Well, the official thing was that it was a weather balloon. Now, when somebody's given a mission in the military, they pretty much have the attitude that's drilled into their heads, die trying to get your mission accomplished. If your mission accomplished is making people believe that it's a weather balloon and people are saying something else, and you're not getting they're saying it's a weather balloon. This caught them by complete surprise. So suddenly people are coming up to them and saying, no, we saw that metal. That wasn't from Earth. And of course, they didn't realize it was a plastic. They were thinking, metal shouldn't do that. And there was all these rumors going around. Within 24 hours, they realized,
the public just created our perfect cover story.
That it's a better story. And then they started thinking, the more we deny it, the more they believe what really didn't happen. And they started thinking, we have to support this. And that's where Area 47 comes in. And the 47 psychological warfare starts thinking, okay, maybe we should use this elsewhere. And Project Blue Book came.
Well, the other thing that disturbs me about the UFO phenomenon, the related narratives that go along with it, are the stories of UFO abductions where they say, the victim says that their memories were replaced by an image of an animal.
We can cover that later. What happened next was Blue Book got the FBI involved. And they said, FBI, we need this blown up. We need we need an investigation. We need the Air Force to take Project Blue Book out. And you guys to support it, to go out and start asking people questions. And just like any other planned a prosecutor in a case, they asked loaded questions, and people started saying, yeah, Yeah, it was long. Yeah, it was saucer shaped. So they started asking extra questions like, did you notice a green glow? Which was perfect cover for the plane that they had coming up, which would they the project was after the U2 went down. We didn't use the U2s anymore, or not to the extent we did. Instead, we used a series called the A12, which looks like the SR-71. The SR-71 was the Air Force version. Now, in order to get their patch, the Haboo is what they're called, they had to trick someone into radioing that they saw a UFO. And what they were ordered to do was they would take a flight. I remember back in the early 60s, a lot of the airliners weren't jets yet. And jets kind of still had that B-29 look to them, that really tubular body, whatever. So when a jet comes up beside you that looks saucer-shaped, not your conventional tube that you're thinking of as airplanes, the planes would be ordered to approach the target from the rear, and then to come up just to the point where only the pilot can see them, and they would see that saucer appearance of the front end, and they would basically, they were dressed like astronauts. They had what the equivalent of spacesuits on, and they would look over at the pilot of the aircraft and try to get his attention. As soon as they knew the guy was looking at them and they could hear him talking on the radio, they would then move back to the center of the aircraft so that there's no possibility that anybody could corroborate it from the back end of the aircraft. And then they would go to a high Mach and leave the plane in the dust and then zip out away to what anybody that never seen a Mach 1 plane before suddenly go to Mach 2 or greater, zipping away, does zip away from you very fast. So when the plane would get to the other end, the FBI would be waiting for them, or whatever organization was proper at that time, and they would debrief them about the UFO they encountered. And then they would be told, never tell the public. So they'd have these denied radio reports going out, which fed the thing of they're not letting us talk about it, which made it worse and worse. The other things that come along, there are reports of cattle mutilations and stuff like that all along to support it. And of course, and then some people make things up. And no matter what they did, they had to say, well, we don't know anything about that. It only emphasized their case more. And
where, if we wanted to look,
the best story I ever read about it was in Popular Mechanics.
Huh.
And the Popular Mechanics actually did several articles on them. But as far as the A12 series and the SR-71s, most of the data out there is technical. Flight magazines and stuff like that, you can catch it in. You can look online and see that. Yeah, the A12 series was quite remarkable. I had a whole bunch of aircraft that looked like UFOs, and especially the series of A12s called the M21 D23, and maybe it's D21, which literally was a drone on the back of a plane that looked identical to the SR-71.
Oh, Snork, your microphone. We can't hear you as well now.
Oh.
Yeah, and you don't have to tell us your sources, but I used to read Popular Mechanics, and I know Newsweek used to be a great magazine. So, but besides Popular Mechanics, there are other sources out there. I just need a nod, yes or no. Okay.
There's a very funny movie about the British guys that pulled off the alien autopsy video. there's an actual like comedy movie about it. I can't remember. It's like Alien Autopsy or something, and it's how they made and sold that to Fox, and it like blew up, and it's a hilarious movie of how they did it. And I even bought. I was in Goodwill, and I even saw the Alien Autopsy VHS tape, and I own one of those with number one in it from Star Trek.
After the first Roswell incident, it did go on, and those the participants in that really should have the same honor on them as the astronauts that went to the moon. What they did led to the moon projects. It wouldn't have been possible to do the moon projects without what they did, and very little is said about them, and currently all declassified. Of course, all that stuff is boring to go through for most people, and
everything's redacted.
No, not anymore.
Really?
Although only before they died, only 2 of the Habu pilots would actually discuss it. Most of them, even though it was declassified, would have been like 5 years ago, 10 years.
My, how things change. Now everyone wants to blab.
Yeah.
Right?
These guys back then were in the Cold War. They were pretty much told if they sneezed, somebody would get secret information. And the bases they took off, the things that were done back in the 60s, 70s, 80s, they could have been pretty bad.
Wait, Avon, was that an X-Files poster? Or that was...
Yeah, it's the I Want to Believe.
Oh, well, we were total X-Files junkies. Watched that
Right on.
all the time. Loved that show.
Yeah.
I thought I recognized the picture. It's been a
Regarding the abductions themselves, people report seeing these animals in place of memories, etc. I don't know if you guys are familiar with that. But, that's a trick that human hypnotists use in order to suppress traumatic sessions. So, it leads me to believe that other people are picking these people and doing something to them, if it's even occurring at all.
Yeah, so the biggest question is okay, since we're all here and we're all pretty honest, I'm not at all, but I think there is definitely life elsewhere. I just do not believe that they're ready to mingle. I think we're more of just an ant farm. I just don't think they're just I mean, it's like having a hamster thing, a big city of hamsters. Or whatever.
James, the way we're like the cosmic pandas. Like, we're really too dumb to really keep ourselves alive. So, maybe there's some higher intelligence out there that just intervenes every once in a while.
Yeah, they just
rats in the maze just looking for the cheese.
Yeah, I mean, if there's a group of beings that's mastered intergalactic travel, what would they want with us, really?
I know, exactly. They probably just drive by every once in a while going,
look at that.
Not stop at that place. Just keep driving, sweetie.
It's got the dirty bathrooms. It's no good.
Yeah. That's like the worst.
The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy sort of look.
Oh, yeah. It's a good,
My favorite quote from Douglas Adams: "In the beginning, the universe was created. This has made a lot of people very angry and has been widely regarded as a bad move."
Yeah.
Oh, there we go.
my older daughter had to hear that music as a newborn, and then she would go to sleep. That was her signal to go to bed.
Nice.
Yeah.
Far out.
And like still she hadn't seen it, you know, she's a teenager now, and she heard them, it was like a rerun or something, and she heard it and went, like, it was so familiar to her, and I'm like, well, for like, you know, 5 years that was your bedtime lullaby.
So did you guys watch Sessions today laughing at Kamala Harris? Did anybody watch that?
No, I didn't.
Not bother.
I watched the hearings, but I don't remember that part. No.
I caught
Well,
bits and pieces.
he said, "Oh, you make me nervous," and he I've always said this. I just totally believe these hearings are such a dog and pony show. They really result in nothing.
Yeah.
Yep.
You know, I mean, I don't really see, nothing really happens. It's kind of like, it's just trying to promote an ideal or trying to push more propaganda. I mean, you're going to have your turn and we're going to have our turn.
All it is.
Yeah, that's what it really seems like. But at certain points, you can see that Sessions was smirking many times.
Wow.
And I watched it, and I'm just like, it's almost like they know it's almost like they're all scripted. It's almost like a WWF wrestling match. Like they've already kind of rehearsed it together.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And they're
that's
looking
a little
for a
far-fetched, but that's
they're looking for a soundbite, so they have something to then that will get repeated. Oh, look, he did this, you know.
Perfect.
Precisely.
Yep.
Part of the problem too was he was trying to claim a privilege.
Like you can't claim executive privilege, so he can't just sort of willy-nilly. Either he can come in and talk about things, and they've set up a list of things he can't talk about, or he can't. You know what I mean? I mean, he can't come in and then choose which answers he's going to get. That's kind of what they were trying to get at, and so that was sort of the most interesting part of it to some extent, was that trying to.
No, he's right. That's what they were doing. But the whole thing is you can sit there and fart the whole time, and there's nothing the other side's going to do about it. That's grilling you. They're grilling you, and they're asking you questions, and you can sit there and just go, and nothing's going to happen. You guys know that, right?
I'd like to see that YouTube video.
Have you ever seen anybody get handcuffed and taken out of a Senate hearing? Anybody? No.
Well, they did actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, they filed charges against what's his face, Obama's AG, in the Fast and Furious thing. That was over paperwork, but it's basically the same kind of thing.
But not at the hearing. That's what I'm saying.
But the hearings are, what the hearings are for is to sort of publicly vent what they know. And so everybody tries to walk up to the line of what they can say,
yeah,
in the open. And so they try to get answers out of them in the open that, I don't know, that some of that is trying to get answers out of them in the open,
So, Broken, I got to tell you something. I'm a new fan of a YouTube video I've been watching. I'm a new fan, and I found this in my closet. Can you see me? Can you see this at all?
A little bit. It's like
I'm like, I'm on the iPad most of the time.
But can you see us? Because I don't know if you ever see us.
Well, James, sometimes I only see your eyes.
That's purpose. I'm trying. That's purposeful.
Oh, okay.
I'll walk around here.
I see that and your old cutie pinup girl behind you.
Yeah.
It's like the neighbor from Home Improvement. What was his name?
Yeah, that's the. I'm that guy.
Wilson.
Wilson. Just
Oh my
his head over there. You know what I really think you should do? No, that's what Zork sounds like. That guy. Zork sounds like that guy.
I almost did this with our neighbor.
Okay, I can see you.
Okay, look. Okay, here's my new YouTube fan. I'm watching this. I can't believe I never saw it, but it's freaking hilarious. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Clean up on aisle 4. You guys, you guys have got to see this. It's Chad Vader. He's the day manager of this. This was done a while back too, but but he's been at a lot of Comic-Cons. He still hangs around, and the guy's hilarious.
It's awesome.
And the guy that does his voice does a great job. He speaks through a piece of like flexible tube to get the voice right.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
It's great.
I love when he starts dating the girl. That's the best. It's like he wants to take that gal out on the date.
Yeah.
It's so.
He's always standing him up. That's terrible.
It's funny.
There's
Another one. Those guys do everything. They do.
Where did Momo?
Those guys do movie reviews too. They do movie reviews and they play games and drink. The Chad Vader guys.
Yeah, beer and board games.
Beer and board games, yeah.
Hey guys, where did Momo go?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Did you guys see? I thought I saw a little screen.
He was up on the screen, but I don't know that he was ever talking.
Still in chat, I think.
He's in the chat.
Yeah.
I saw him trying to hold up a paper, so I'm like, maybe he drew. I don't know. Does he draw, Momo? Yeah. Okay. Maybe he drew the thing I was talking. I don't know, or showing something he drew.
I gotta come back. I got a cat incident. I got a cat that got in as a stray. So I'll be back in a little while.
Oh, fun.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll be back.
Yeah, guys. I think I'm gonna head to bed. I gotta get up early tomorrow.
All right.
Good night.
Thanks for coming, Christian.
Bye. Have a good one. Take care.
Good night.
Good night, man. Take care. Aloha.
Aloha.
Bye.
No, but I got a question. Do you guys think and I haven't gotten a response on this because I think it's important. Do you think that Jill should be a little louder regarding the Beck versus DNC?
I don't know because I don't know if she has any standing in it.
Right. That would be.
You know what I mean?
That's
I mean, she could add her voice
that's a good
behind
point.
sort of the crowd, the crowd of supporters of Elizabeth and Jared. There's no doubt, and Nico, but I don't know that she has any sort of she doesn't have any standing sort of in the case. I don't think.
right. I don't think so.
Yeah, maybe
I'm back.
maybe it's good that she stay. Maybe it is good that she stay back.
Yeah.
You know, until something concrete actually happens.
Yeah.
Well,
That's what I'm thinking.
And they're already attacking her for stuff she really hasn't done. So.
Yeah,
and
like
I hate to say this, it really sucks, but I think if she jumped in, I mean, I'm still battling people believing that she's anti-vaccine.
Right. Yeah. Which is ridiculous and not true.
And so if she were to jump in, I mean, I really hate to say this because I know it's not true, but I think that it would further discredit in the eyes of most people. Oh, look, it's the crazy Green Party candidate, jumping in, trying to capitalize. It's not right, but it would diminish the.
Yeah, I see your point.
I think she's got.
Go ahead. Sorry.
I think she's got too good strategic value in not having any say in it. Well, one is they might both be political. I mean, one of them is. I think she knows the stuff that's going on in the independent media. I mean, she's been in it. She's been. She's now has her own show. She probably follows some things with like Debbie Lusignan and Tim Black. She's been on their show, and she knows that the progressive community or even just the independent community are looking really deep into the DNC fraud lawsuit and things that the DNC are doing and have been doing. And second is, if she does that now, she kind of risks getting people who, if it does happen, coming to the Green Party, because it'd be like, hey, I was part of the group that kind of broke the DNC, so come to the Green Party. Instead, she's taking a passive approach. Is once the DNC party breaks up a little bit, I think either people leave that party, they're going to go to the Green Party, or right, the DNC rebuilds themselves somehow.
I'm sorry, who were we talking about?
Jill Stein.
Oh, Jill. Okay.
Yeah.
I thought so, but it was like...
That's the response that Jill gets all the time.
I don't think the response is, a stray cat came into my house, so sorry, Jill, I forgot about it.
That's all right.
But,
yeah, it's funny. We talk a lot, quote, about George Carlin a lot, and last night I had some of his stuff on while I was working, and it was cracking me up. But there's this one thing where he talks about how Americans love bullshit, and he said, you got anybody comes up and tells the truth, they're gonna get pummeled, and it makes me wonder, is there some truth in the fact that Americans just really don't really want to hear the truth, and when they hear the truth, it makes them mad. It's like they kind of want to hear the crap. That's what he says. That's why they voted for Bill Clinton. He came out there, he's like, hey, y'all, and they're like, well, at least he's honest. Let's vote for him.
People get so triggered by the truth. Triggered.
You
triggered.
It's the trigger of cognitive dissonance.
That's exactly it. Exactly.
Yeah,
it.
I don't know. I think like people don't have an incentive for it. It's just like, well, they kind of feel hopeless. You kind of give them that information, like, hey, everything's fucked, and they're like, okay, so what do we do about it? I don't know. But
right?
It's just like, well, now I'm depressed. So
Exactly.
can I just go back to watching TV now and just pretending everything's okay?
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
I wanted to show y'all a video. Oh my gosh, it's only like.
Can that happen? Can somebody do that?
Huh?
Is that feasible? On here?
Yes.
Yeah, I think so. I think I could share.
Oh no,
If
that's
you
not
can't, you
good.
can let me do it.
Oh.
Okay, so
You have to share your desktop, and it'll pick what you want to share, and then you can go and play it.
that's right. It's going to show everything that your desktop's on. So if you have a tab that has a porn tab, we're going to see it.
Close that tab.
I have a not porn tab. And it literally is not porn.
Damn it! I gotta hide my porn tab now. Oh.
porn trigger.
Legends porn.
Wow, Stevie's got porn folder for Joe Manchin. I'm just kidding.
Mansion porn is just a pile of money.
Uh-oh. All right, let me.
Come on with the show, Stevie. No audio.
Can't hear it.
It may not play back audio. I might have to do it. Can you send me the link?
Eric can fill in the voice for Chunk.
Triggered.
We can make up our own.
Of course.
Stevie, can you
Can
go
you do
ahead?
It? Of course.
And give me the URL?
Yeah, I'll just, I'll have to put it on my, I guess I'll have to put it on my YouTube channel, because, I can't, this is from their website.
Bobo.
What, did you record it and download it off of YouTube or something?
Huh?
Did you download it off of YouTube or something?
It was from the site, from their TYT site.
Okay, go ahead and end a share, though, so we don't get to see everything that's on your computer.
Oh, oops. There we go.
No, you have to get up. You have to end the screen sharing.
I don't
We just see the chat right now. Go to Ring Central meeting.
Click back into the meeting.
Okay, I think I see it. No, where'd it go? My thing. Oh.
We can see your porn.
It's not porn.
I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
Well, Stevie, this is your show after all. Your name is up on the screen.
There we go. Stop share.
There we
go. You're allowed to play around tonight.
Oh, so if people want to actually download stuff from videos, especially YouTube, I know it kind of sucks because sometimes there's like money involved, but you can use FreeMake. It's an application that'll you paste the URL in it and it'll download it for you. And you can just.
Oh, I use
that one. And then there was another one that if you want to just do like an MP3, it's like listen to YouTube. I think. I don't know if it's like one of those shady like virus sites.
All right, so how do I take that down?
Hey,
That's a great thing.
my husband shook her hand. Was that in Philly? Where
That was
it?
in Irvine, California.
Oh,
It's just down the street from me.
Yeah.
that's great.
Cool.
Could you put those shares back up? I didn't get those credit card numbers.
I know, right? I didn't want you to see my 20 porn tabs.
That's okay. I'm the one that walks around the house, right? So everybody can see everything. I should have a black screen like Ebon does.
Oh, that's awesome.
I'm like,
Oh, don't let them come after you now. They're showing that.
That's a paper airplane I'm working on.
I gave up on privacy. I like refused to join Facebook when it first came out. I just hated that. Like my privacy, it's not that I have anything to hide. It's just, but now I realize it's just like, if you're going to be in anything, forget it. I don't know. I mean, I use Signal some, as you know, but for a lot of stuff though, it's like, you just have to either accept it or not, I think, unfortunately.
As long as no one finds out about my tentacle porn addiction, I think I'm set.
We already know. It's okay, man.
There was an episode of Anthony Bourdain's show where he goes to Japan and oh my God, yeah. They were talking about that. My daughter and I were watching it because she wanted to see, he's going to Japan. And it ended up being.
What is that, Broken?
That's
what my phone. That's how my cell phone's hooked up, and then that's hooked to a pole.
Nice.
That's your system? That's cool. It's camera.
Little tobacco rub, but it works.
Yeah, it works, man. As long as it works, bro. Faux show. Okay, here. I was talking about this last night because I think that Kim is full of crap. Does that make sense?
That's funny.
I'm just posting it on his Twitter. I'm trying to get this guy to react. I'm spamming him. I'm going after him. I mean, when you come out and you tell everybody you've got all this information and you can connect the dots between Seth and Wiki, and then he, and then I'm going to do this and this and that, and then he disappears, and then there's nothing.
And then there's like ads for his videos and crap.
Yeah.
It's like, come on.
Yeah.
That was tacky.
Yeah, and this white
Very low class. Very.
And
they weren't even good.
Yeah.
Attention grab, maybe.
It was totally. I think it was. I'm trying to see if he's got anything, so I'm going after him.
His wife is like 15 or something.
What?
No, I don't know. I'm exaggerating.
Yeah, I seen his wife. His wife is smoking, but she's not there for this wonderful youthful figure.
She's there for the lulls.
Yeah, she's tolerating that 400 pounds for a reason.
It's like Melania.
Same thing.
The orange mattress.
Yeah, the orange, exactly.
Did it all for the money.
Yep.
It's an orange water bed.
Yep. It's been run over by a truck a few
Okay,
times.
what is this? Tell me what this is. Star Rotor Corporation Air Conditioning. Okay.
Air system?
Can you explain that, please?
How much energy is needed to run that?
Oh, there it is.
Hardly any.
Took me a second to get over there. It's extremely low energy. It's not mine. It's somebody else's. Took me a minute to figure out where the controls were to take it off. See if I was unmuted. It's University of Texas did it. It is fantastic, phenomenal system for this latitude for air conditioning, and I see it being used nowhere. And apparently, it got kind of squelched. And it's maybe 50% improvement over standard air conditioning and refrigeration.
Wait, it was squelched how?
Probably patent sold, and to somebody that wasn't interested in that patent being followed up on. But it's a great pump for other things too. I was just looking for some fun things here.
Hey, I just want
I've got a link I'm going to send you, Yvonne.
Okay. So for patents, as long as if you can build it but not sell it, right? Like
yeah.
So, I mean, you're only like you'd have to pay the royalties if you built it to make profit off it. But so you could theoretically take a patent and tell people how to build it themselves. Is that
some people do that? You can also take somebody else's patent, build off of it, add to it, and then you own the patent on that improvement to their patent. You don't own their patent.
Yep.
But they can't do that until they pay you if they want to do that same improvement.
Yeah.
That's called a derivative patent.
Can you share where you get that? I'd like to look more into it.
Look it up. Star Rotor. I believe the University of Texas still has it up.
Star Rotor?
Let me pull it back. I've gone on to something else and just looking for some of my old fun pictures to throw up. Yeah, STARROTOR. They did. Oh,
Engine compressors.
Yeah, I was talking to them about their engine for another project a while back. And their engine is basically two of them put together. One of them compresses. Fantastic compressor. I didn't mean to take us off whatever conversation we had. Though.
No, I was just thinking.
We're talking about
We're
porn.
waiting for the
Come on,
video
let's go back to
from
porn.
Stevie.
Oh, that's right.
The silliest patent I've ever heard of was Richard Garfield with Magic the Gathering, where you turn a card. He actually patented the term tapping.
What?
And seriously. So anybody who actually uses the word tapping in their game, like in the Pokemon cards or whatever, they got to pay Richard Garfield. Friggin' multi-millionaire. That's how you do it.
I was gonna say
capitalize off of free speech. What the fuck? Sorry.
Yeah.
Mark, I'm glad you have a video now. It's much better. Like I just think it's great. I mean, if people don't have video, that's okay. I'm just saying it's much I don't know, better. We can see you now when you're talking.
What is that?
An eyelash.
Wow.
Between the three things there, that's an eyelash.
We're having a science lesson.
Jim might be interested in why the ends of them look like that.
They're not cut. They're not cut. They're sheared. Or I don't know. They're not broken.
They don't look like they're separated in any means that you've ever seen in your life before.
No.
Is that accurate?
Yeah, they look. I can't figure out how they were jolted apart. It doesn't make sense.
And that's why you can't figure out how the towers fell.
Ah. Okay. Fuck.
We can delete that portion, right?
Yeah. So better be careful, Zork. I'm telling you, man. The FBI will be on our freaking. They'll be in here. They're probably watching us already.
My
I can't do anything with that.
Utah Phillips, he used to have this story about how, because he was a very cool guy. If you ever want to listen to something good, look him up, Utah Phillips. And he was a songwriter and a storyteller, and was a joined IWW member, big time union worker, and he knew a lot of history of unions. But he had this funny story he told at one of his shows where he said, he would get all that radical mail and things in the news in the Post, and he said that he knew the government was probably reading half of the stuff that he was getting in the mail, and he said, well, it didn't really bother me because they got to learn something somewhere, they might as well learn it from my crazy mail. He said, so one day, he's like, I was on tour and I didn't know what I was going to do because I like to garden and I didn't know how to get my backyard plowed up for the spring planting. He said, so I sent a letter to a friend of mine, and I knew that they would intercept it. And he said to her, for goodness sakes, don't dig up the backyard. That's where all the guns are buried. He's like, so, he's like, by the time I got back home, the field was all plowed up, and I was ready to go planting.
Good way to start a garden.
Yeah, there you go. Don't dig up the yard.
Are we watching that video?
This is Petey. This is my Petey bunny.
Stevie, I don't see the link.
Not the same as Unbox.
Okay.
This
sorry.
is not
Give me a
Bunny.
second.
This is her funny little friend. A
Still
little part Netherland dwarf.
Absolutely happy.
Looks
When
like
they
a
put their
cotton.
hands up like, yeah, when they put their hands up like this.
Yeah. Triggered! Petey, get triggered! Triggered!
Triggered!
Stevie, what time frame should I be replaying it back at? I can't hear you.
Can't hear you, Stevie.
Oh, I don't know. Don't worry about it. It's probably too long anyway.
No, we've been
I think
waiting.
it's like,
Yeah, we've been waiting.
What is it?
oh,
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, if you just listen
If you're
to
going
a
to
couple
understand the
minutes of it, I
form
mean,
of our
you'll
government, you have to
listen the first couple
understand
minutes
something
of it.
that's in the Declaration of Independence as a
Okay.
The time dangerous guy, and I think he's a bad guy too. And so to me, and I think that there are enough people out.
Oh, Pete.
Yeah, it's 14 minutes long. I mean,
Yeah.
it just means they're talking about progressives. You guys should fall in line because it's.
Yeah, it's really interesting to listen through the whole thing because, just like whenever you have time, because they debate on whether or not they should release information, which news should they report. I mean, they're talking about actually like manipulating the news, like right there on the news. Like it's so crazy. And anytime like anybody ever questions TYT, it's just like, well, that right there proves it.
Well, they get
They have
triggered
a
by the
narrative.
truth.
I mean, they have a narrative, and they they're denying it. That's the thing. It's just like, but they just sat there and debated it.
So I wonder what we all have in common that makes us not fall in line. Like
That's a good question.
Brains?
Kelly, I would like to do a copy of everybody's astrology chart one day and see what's in there.
Oh,
but you are kind
Planet
of
Nibiru. That's what's in common with all of us.
What's that? What, Yvonne?
I'm on the video. I just see Jank waving his hand and
You
looking.
missed it. What did he say?
Oh, that's good.
Yvonne, what did you say?
It's Planet Nibiru. That's what it is that connects us.
Oh.
Maybe what I think it is, and this is just me being Joey in the group, talking last with, My retention level sucks. You know, I remember things that, of course, like Coco says, if it has feeling. So I get these feelings too when I watch these videos and I watch these reporters and these hosts and these specialists, and then I go and I listen to Tim and HA and Debbie and Nico and Hard Bastard and whoever else is out there, and I piece everything together, and I come to the conclusion that we're fucked. Besides that, I think we come to the same conclusion that we're in that same spot. I think we're not the only people. I think there are others like us that should have their own night show. But I think we're all in the same place. It's like it's okay. This is what it is. It's like the encounters of Richard Dreyfuss when he in the movie, not Encounters of the Third Kind. Yeah, when they all come together and they all climb up the mountain.
Yeah.
Right. Yep.
They all kind of see it, but it's not like we're getting these thoughts just from lights from an alien. We're actually putting the pieces together.
Right.
You know, and the weirdest thing about it is we're coming to the same conclusions. So if we're coming to the same conclusions, then I feel pretty confident that we're right. But we have to question ourselves, and I think we're sensible enough because I see sensibility. I see intelligence, and I see people that I can really sense that we're more realists, and there's cognitive dissonance does not really exist in this group. I think we all want to know the absolute and total truth about everything.
Mm-hmm.
So that's I think our common. That's what I think.
Yeah.
What our commonality is.
And we're not
Well,
really.
I thought it was our sense of style. and if you get to be Joey, I get to be the Jim Ignatowski.
Okay, that's perfect.
For dated people, for people old enough.
I'm glad you can see my intelligence.
Nice.
Anyways, I want to segue into this. If you guys look up the Mandela effect, because I like conspiracy theories, it's just fun stuff sometimes.
I have heard of that.
Mandela effect. So it's if you type in Mandela effect in Google search, and I'll put it on the chat. It just kind of talks about just like Mandela.
Yeah, Mandela.
Yeah.
So Mandela. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
There you go. And it's pretty fun because I think the theory is, I only looked up a few of it. It's like the theory is the universe a while ago just kind of like something happened, and so we've got a lot of cross universes in line. So there are certain people that cross this threshold. They're like the new people, but they remember things differently than what actually happened. So, for example, some people remember like Nelson Mandela died in prison and he didn't become a president and all this other stuff, and that he actually died in 2013 and stuff. Or like Looney Tunes was like full like Looney instead of
EY and not right,
and things like that.
Right.
And people can say, I really remember it to be like that, and multiple people kind of remember things like that too. But if you actually look it up, it's totally different. Like different strokes was different strokes, not like diff and then with the apostrophe int strokes. It's just kind of weird.
I found one
little
on
things like that.
Odyssey online, 14 Mandela, whatever effect examples that will mess with.
I looked it up.
Oh, you did. Okay.
It's
the Angry Video Game Nerd did one too on it.
Oh yeah, I'll look it up.
Yeah, with like pop culture stuff.
What is this about the Berenstain Bears?
Well,
yeah.
Yeah.
We're all living in a simulation, right?
Berenstein and Berenstein.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like Oscar Mayer and Oscar Mayer.
Yeah.
Have y'all ever watched Coast to Coast AM?
Mm-mm.
I've heard of it.
It's Art Bell, or it used to be Art Bell. Maybe somebody else took it over. But they get into all that stuff like Bigfoot and chemtrails and like all of it. Aliens. It's some of it's like pretty good, but then some of it's like, you know, pretty far out there.
Yeah.
Angel Tibbs is from another dimension.
That makes sense.
The universe is a sphere.
Ooh. Oh, Katie, show them your feet. Show them those feet. You are the funniest. Funny.
Okay, the Flintstones.
Okay, who remembers? I know the guys who've seen this movie, but it's the movie, the one with Jet Li.
Yeah.
Oh.
I know it.
You seen it, Eric? Eric, have you seen it? Bram, have you seen it?
No.
I've seen it.
Which one?
Jet Li, it's the one.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
But it talks about the premise is based on multi-universes, and this guy goes and kills all of his other selves in these other universes.
Right.
He becomes stronger and stronger and stronger.
I love the martial arts movies. I did a keto for many years, so yes, I'm into that stuff.
So I mean, we don't really know what the truth is yet. This is what I like about being a agnostic atheist. And I'm that guy that goes, I don't know.
Yeah.
You know. So what religion?
Are we all on that boat?
I go, well, my dog tag said I was a Christian back then, but really I don't know. And I'm that guy that says I don't know, because I think we're not supposed to know. I don't think anybody will ever know it all.
So that would be an interesting poll here. Are we all on the same page in that regard? Is everyone pretty much agnostic or atheist, or where does everybody?
I'm a devout Satanist.
I don't know. I'm a real bizarre combination. I grew up in the South, very much in the church. Didn't, in some ways I felt like there was something to it, but the hypocrisy and the stuff I saw really turned me off to it by the time I was a teenager. And I don't know. I don't really call myself anything. I study a lot of different things, and I think there's a little bit of truth in all of them. And I like the Tao. I like Buddhism. I like some elements of Catholicism, minus the guilt. I like a lot of different things. And then, yeah, like James said, it's like the sort of, I don't know everything, and neither does anyone else.
I think that's an interesting thread through all of us then.
So my feeling for my, like with my parents, like when I was growing up with them, were super religious. And now, it's like I'm an astrologer and I'm sort of all over the map with my spirituality, or lack thereof. And they now kind of respect where I'm at. And it's not like a fight anymore. But when I was a kid, it was. So, yeah, I'm just very accepting of what people want to believe and what works for them. And I just don't think it's our job to tell everybody what their deal should be. It's just... How can you do that? It's personal. It's very personal what works for you.
Right. I'm just curious if anybody's comfortable talking about it. Is anyone a straight up atheist?
Yeah, I'm a little bit more, or I'm a little bit less religious than Sagan,
I'm surprised.
I do not see anything in the major religions that I could follow. And I'm also kind of well versed in artificial intelligence and mathematics, somewhat in genetics. And I see the DNA, the way it coils and all, as a fractal. a key to the operation of the other objects of the cells, like the mitochondria. When I see a fractal is a representation in a number of dimensions of something of more dimensions.
But
if we're looking at ourselves, we cannot see the number of dimensions that we are in, and that accounts for the feeling of consciousness. So I see mechanisms for everything that we do, that we are, and a lot of times when I have to go in and resolve some kind of unusual situation, I look back to how does the human mind do it? How does an animal do it? How does a plant do it? And when I look at features at work in systems, complex systems, when I use the body model, it seems to work. When you start talking about things that are in other, like quantum computers, you don't do that unless there is a multitude of dimensions that are working together as waves. That's why I say the universe is cottage cheese, and we're in a smear of it, because in this dimension we're just slightly different than what the next one is, and there was a smear of changes, so that every possible state exists in every possible position, in every possible way in the universe. You can't look at that as just one dimension. You can't look at it as dimensions that are just in some ways 90 degrees from each other. Some dimensions are going to rotate. Some dimensions are going to be like polar. Some are going to be Cartesian in a warped way. Even Einstein felt that the gravity was just something rolling on a regular plane, but the plane was warped. So there are so many ways that, we're so young to be able to learn. And the main thing is we have to accept that we're learning and that we don't know everything. And then we have to look back at the writings of people who didn't follow that. That's the workings of children. And when your children give you drawings, you say, oh, wow, nice. I'll put that on the thing. You don't revere them as sacrament.
I mean, on the big scale of things, and that's the one thing I liked about Carl Sagan, is we're like a very small blip into the entire existence of universe, whatever.
He was willing to say it in public at a time when it was dangerous to say it in public, career-wise, life-wise, especially for somebody that was probably a 13er.
And technology-wise, as far as just the amount of technology that's been around, it's just very small, very minuscule part of our entire human history.
Sagan was involved with Ames Lab.
Can you speak up? Sorry.
Oh, your mic's down again.
Let me switch to the other mic, maybe.
Well, while you're switching, has anyone seen the movie The Arrival?
No, I never saw that one.
Yes.
Excellent movie.
I liked it too. Yeah. It stars Jeremy Renner and Amy Adams.
Yeah. Was it similar in some ways to Contact?
Not Contact. It's kind of
not really.
No.
It's somewhat similar to the one with Matthew McConaughey in a way. Not anywhere near.
Matt Damon.
It's just kind of.
Yeah.
The one with Matt Damon.
No, not the Mission.
What was the name of that movie? Interstellar.
Yeah.
Oh, kind of similar to Interstellar.
I liked Interstellar.
It's kind of a little bit. I'm not saying anything a lot, but it makes you think, and I like that. It makes you think in a way that you wouldn't think of the world or a typical storyline of a movie. Once you exit the movie, you kind of have to think to kind of connect the dots a little bit. And
well, that's what Zork is talking about. He sees things because of what he knows from, I don't know, physics or all the numbers he's crunched in his head, he sees things in a totally different perspective.
I mean, I even think of things like when you talk about that, Snork, things, what I always wonder is sleep. For every living organism, sleep is something that's constant.
And water.
Water.
Water is the unifier there.
So,
except for a tardy bear.
You mean, yeah. But, so what is it? Why do we really need sleep? Shouldn't have we evolved to have an organism that doesn't need sleep?
Yes, I am so glad you
No?
brought this up. This is something that bugs me so much. I mean, okay, like we have our cell phones, and we could stay on our cell phones 24 hours a day, you know? But if our cell phone had to shut down for 8 hours a day, just randomly, we'd say, this is broken, we need to fix it.
Yep.
Why do we need sleep? It is such a waste of time.
It drives me crazy to have to eat all the time. Eat 3 times a day. It's so annoying. I'm like, sometimes it's really fun and it's enjoyable to eat, but there's a lot of times where I'm like, I really need to work. I don't have time to eat today. Wish that just, like we had the option, but we don't.
I like eating a lot.
Yeah, we noticed.
There's a couple left in here. There's still a couple chips left in here.
So don't you go work out right before this show?
I usually do. I didn't tonight or yesterday, but I was working out with my kids on Saturday, so I got to definitely go tomorrow.
Oh.
I'm trying to lose 1 billion pounds because I'm freaking ginormous.
Okay. Eat
Yeah,
the
we still can't hear you, Snork.
Apple cider vinegar.
Oh, yeah. Love the
It
vinegar.
works.
I love vinegar.
Snork, you might need to change your mic settings
gotta go
in
get- I
Ring
used to
Central
have
Meeting.
Yeah, Eric, I used to have a lot of the apple cider vinegar. I got to go get some. That's good stuff.
Lemon
Make sure you drink it with mix it in with water and honey.
Okay, yes. So you guys, I know some of you guys are gurus when it comes to food, and I'm trying to get rid of belly fat besides doing 1,000 sit-ups and planking and all this
Sit-ups
other
won't
crap.
get rid of the belly fat.
Avoid wheat, for one thing. It's a major thing, and drink a lot of water. You need to drink at least 8 glasses, 8 ounces of water a day. Water is
This much? Is this a good amount?
Yeah, that's a good amount. I mean, you don't have to over drink it, but if you drink
Those 2 shot glasses.
4 of these, 4 16-ounce glasses a day,
Okay.
that's plenty. But yeah, avoiding wheat is huge for me. I notice that whenever I'm eating more wheat, my belly's puffed up, I'm more bloated. Dairy, of course, I avoid dairy. I don't completely exclude it, but I kind of use it as accent. It's not like it's going to be a primary part of a dish.
All right,
So-
you know what? I'm going to tell you right now, I eat like crap.
Yeah, so if you really want to lose weight, independent insider, who's...
No, he's
That's
working
not
on
I
me.
think, yeah, it's Snark. I muted you, Snark, for a little bit. Okay, so if you really want to lose weight, watch a lot of videos of survivalists that go out and try to survive in the wild, and you'll
That's a
see
good idea.
you'll see that the most of the time they'll just catch fish, and some fish don't have a lot of fat. So things in the wild don't have any oils, they don't have any fat. There's nothing that your body can store. So
Cut out.
The other
Also, cut out 2 things in your diet. 2 things. Just these 2. If you eat them now and you stop, weight will fall off you. Hydrogenated oil
Yes.
of any sort
Yep.
and corn syrup.
Yes.
yeah. So basically,
Refined sugars in general.
No, but just those 2 alone, watch what happens.
That's very true.
broken
I would
coconut.
also say,
What
Jake,
what Broken's holding up is, there's a place around the corner that has a lot of those.
there's something else I would tell you that is absolutely imperative, especially the older you get, that I actually did this last year, and I need to do it again soon. I'm hopefully going to do it like this month. Is a full body cleanse or a liver cleanse. It's amazing what that will do to you for you. Not only will it clear your body of a lot of junk, and it'll actually help your digestion. Therefore, anything you eat is going to process better. No, it will make you lose weight, but that's just a nice side effect. The point really is to, I did this
Start
last
over.
Global Healing Center. They sell a set of products that are made to help you do a 5-day liver cleanse. I did it last year, and it was incredible. You eat a very pure diet for those 5 days, mostly fruits. Make a vegetable broth, things like that. It's a lot of avocados, walnuts, things that are basically made to clear the system out. The last day is the hardest, and
Right.
you drink 4 ounces of pure olive oil, and you do some Epsom salt in warm water. And I'm telling you, I had green stones came out of my liver on the last day. And most people do get that out of there because your liver processes all of your toxins. Anything you've ever done, any alcohol you've ever had, smoking, over-the-counter drugs or meds, even pollution that you breathe in, your liver is processing all of it. It's why you don't die when you breathe in toxins or pollution. So do a liver cleanse once a year or more if you're really badly affected. Is a major life changer. The other thing that I do throughout the year, if I feel occasional like bloating or puffiness in my gut, is an oxygenating powder that they sell. It's basically just magnesium, but it's a time release, and it'll clear you right out. You won't be puffy anymore after that. I'm telling you, James, I would definitely try a cleanse.
What's Stevie drinking? Stevie, what are you drinking?
If you send me your email, I'll send you links, because that kind of thing not only is good for, for the short term, it's good for weight loss. In the short term, it'll clear your skin and just make you have more energy. Because
I got to buckle down here because I've been working out for about 2.5, 3 months, and I'm just not eating well. I can play full court basketball till 15, but I'm still sporting Santa Claus costume.
Well, first step is awareness.
So
I do a full body cleanse every morning after my coffee, so that's
Coffee is a diuretic. It actually will clear you out. That's part of what it does. But I'm telling you, it's a colon cleanse and a liver cleanse every year. Not a bad idea. It will help prevent your risk of cancer.
Sorry, I need to get going. I got to get up early in the morning. I'm sorry.
How's the Wells
Talk
Fargo?
more, Bram.
It's,
Good night, Bram.
It's going well.
See ya.
Thanks for asking.
We just need to have a nerd panel one day, Bram.
Yes, we do. Have a good night, everyone.
All right,
I'll definitely be very nerdy for it.
And triggered. And triggered.
So I always had this, I guess, philosophy of 3 things to work on if you want to lose weight and be in good shape. And one is, of course, 2 of them are exercise. One is strength exercise, and second is like long-term cardio exercise, and then third is eating right. And for me, if you want to be in perfect shape, you do all 3. You eat right, you do strength exercise because that'll keep your metabolism going throughout the day, and you do cardio exercise where you actually burn a lot of calories, and if you do it long enough, sometimes some fat. So, but like for me, sometimes I just ate horribly, but you know what? I exercised like 4 hours a day. I was in great shape, even though I ate poorly. But then sometimes I just don't have enough time to do that. So if you don't have enough time to exercise that much, you pick something that's like you do strength exercises and you eat correctly. You don't have to do cardiovascular like 30 to like an hour and a half runs or exercise. So,
I went from running a mile a day, like from the age of 15 to 36, until my spinal fluid leak happened. And I mean, I became totally sedentary. But I'm telling you, if you cut out hydrogenated oil and corn syrup.
Very true.
Because it's hidden in everything, and you
Oh,
can
yeah.
get a jar of pasta sauce or crackers
Oh, yeah.
or probably those chips you're eating. If you just cut out those two things and don't do anything else, you'll still lose weight.
Well, but so my thing is, you just do 2 out of the 3. No
Oh,
matter
2 out.
what, you're going to be in great shape and you're going to lose weight that you want to lose.
Yes, because something is better than nothing.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
so basically,
at least I'm starting the process.
yeah. So
And
And I'm asking questions.
so
start small.
so you
know,
can
if you do it all at once, your body will go into shock.
so the point is to do it daily. So say one day you want to eat whatever you want. That means you do your cardio and you do your physical exercises. If another day is like, oh, you don't really want to work out because you're tired, well, do something like push-ups, sit-ups, squats, and then eat right. So you can choose what you want to do day to day, but just do 2 out of those 3 things. You're going to be in good shape and you're going to eat right and you can be healthy. So,
What's in your chips?
Crap.
You're getting nosy
This
now.
is an intervention.
Do I need to read it? It's Lay's potato chips.
No. Does it have hydrogenated oil in it?
It's got
Yes, it does.
everything that I'm not supposed to be eating is in there.
Have the chips like Broken had, the veggie chips.
like, so this
But
is
the
the
thing is that
this is
those kind of chips.
chips that I'm eating, right? Their ingredients is potatoes.
I love those
Oh, wait,
almonds.
all right.
Those almonds.
Soy chips.
All right, so it's potatoes, sunflower oils, salt, and I guess dehydrated black summer truffle oil and truffle
Yeah.
aroma. That's it.
I'd eat that.
5 things, and it tastes really good.
Yeah.
I think the last thing I ate was last night sometime. I ate one of these. So that's like, I just don't eat because I'm not hungry. Because I don't, when I was working, I ate like, I'd eat like crazy or eat as much as I wanted to.
That's true.
But I was like working. I was working vertically. I was using my entire body, my entire day. I mean, it was. You would go up, start climbing around, and you'd be climbing all day long. So,
Well, so like the old English farmer diet, the eggs and the butter and bacon and, the whole thing. And it's like, but then you go plow a field all day. You're not going to keep any of it. I mean, you're going to burn every bit of it off.
half a loaf of, or like a third of a loaf, half a loaf of Albertson's French bread, because they make the best French bread, and then a big hunk of cheese.
Mm-hmm.
And and the thing was, when I was a foreman or general foreman, I couldn't take like regular lunches or anything, so I got to eat it at like 10 o'clock in the morning. I'd mow down some of the bread and cheese, and then that was it, and my days would be 12 hours long. So
Also, pain kills your appetite.
That's true.
Right?
Absolutely.
Or yeah.
well, and and I lost, since this started, I've lost at least 20-30 pounds of muscle.
Mm-hmm.
So
I lost 150 pounds in 2 years, but
wow.
I did not do it in a good way. Like, it wasn't like I'm going to eat right and exercise. It was like, well, I can afford to eat 2 days this week. So, and then the days that I would eat, it would be like absolute garbage, like just chips and soda and just whatever, because it's just like, whatever, I'm just like eating once this week, so like just load it up, right? Like, so it was not, I mean, I got to eat a lot of delicious food, but just not very often.
And
that's a serious amount of weight.
Yeah,
that is commendable, beyond commendable to be able to do that. That's crazy.
Well, I had to start walking at first because I was like 300 pounds and like I couldn't do anything. So like I had to start. It was just small little things like just walking, and then I would add to it just to get kind of like some, muscle at least.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
It does make a real difference. It really does.
I mean, Stevie, you know from firsthand experience because you've done it, and yeah, that's exactly right. You start slow and steady. It's really just about building a healthy routine.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a regimen, and I'm starting to build it. I love going to this. I love going here. This is good,
Oh, that's a cute picture.
good people. They're fun. All these people, even these kids, they throw me around and punch me. I'm like the biggest punching bag they have, and it's funny.
So I still can't hear you, Snark.
But anyway, in regards to, hey, Stevie, I just want to say, I mean, that is tremendous, and I'm going to throw this out there because I'm paying attention. She's a beautiful woman. Is that me? Is it just me?
No.
Come on, it's okay I say that. Right? You know what I'm saying?
I think we do well. I think we do well for looks on the female sides of our panels.
Group of people.
I mean, when you cut out all the guys, we look pretty good.
Yeah, if we're not, yeah.
I'm probably the easiest on the eyes, to be honest with you. So
I don't know. Eric probably runs right in there, and you know, Evan's no slouch. I'm not. I've had my McConaughey days, so I'll stand aside for sexiest man in the world.
I'm convinced that
I'm waiting to come back like Sean Connery.
Like, there's no way you can be that pretty and that talented and that smart. See, I always thought like you only got like a couple of those things. Like, it's not fair. She got loaded up with all the talent. So, man, it's
She
crazy.
can sing.
So, oh, sorry. I was gonna say, James. So, like, I used to be really into being physically fit. Like, I do one arm pull-ups, just one arm, like up to 8 times on each arm. Like, I do pull-ups with like a 50-pound backpack with both arms. So then I got into like working regularly, and at Microsoft they give out free soft drinks. So I'd be just downing like grape soda all day long, and next thing I know, I'm like 40 pounds overweight. So I was like, all right, I need to do something. So the commute to where I worked in Seattle, in Redmond actually, and I would commute back to Seattle, but like the commute would take 2.5 hours. But if there was no traffic at all, it would only take 15 minutes to drive. So what I would do is I would go to the Gold's Gym across the street, work out for 2.5 hours, then I'd drive home, and it'd be the same amount of time. Just managing my time. So what I did to jumpstart it was take this like green tea extract. So it's just a lot of caffeine, and it just keeps your metabolism going like that.
Green tea has L-theanine in it, which naturally not only helps weight, but it helps depression and fatigue. And a lot of times if you are feeling kind of emotionally down, that can drag you down too, because you're like, I'm not going to do anything, and it just.
So I only promised myself, okay, 30 days I was going to use it, and after that I'm not going to use it. It's just a jump start. So that would get me going to the gym, like work out for 2.5 hours, committed to it, 2.5 hours a day. I would stop drinking the soft drinks. I would just focus on being healthy for a month. And then once that pattern set in, you're pretty much set to just kind of tone it down. And then, but the horrible thing about it is after the 30 days, when you quit that green tea extract thing, is you get the worst migraines for 2 days
no.
ever.
Wow.
But
one of the best things for me about exercise is just that it makes me get warm and sweaty. So it's like I have to drink more water.
Yeah.
So it's almost like it really encourages me to hydrate better, and that's a major.
Yeah. And so, like, within the first month, I think I only lost 20 pounds. But the thing is, I kept going because it was part of my schedule now. So after a couple months, I was like the fittest I could be. So
it's better to lose weight slowly and steadily rather than
Well, my diet tips are buy a huge cup for coffee and take up cigarettes.
I don't know if my mic's working yet.
It does
work. Yeah, it's working now.
Yes.
Okay, my
Well,
wife
thank
had
you,
a good
guys.
one.
Hey,
She lost
Stevie,
60 months in
Stevie's
six,
crooked.
or she lost 60 pounds in 6 months by
What
adding
is going?
a chocolate bar, a Hershey bar with almonds, 2 to 3 hours before she went to bed. And that was her diet.
What?
The only thing I would say about that is, if you do chocolate, don't do the Hershey's, because that plant where it is it's very radioactive there.
Yeah, but
And
I do. I
Helen
think
Caldecott always says don't eat Hershey's chocolate because of that, because of the radioactivity in that area. She's a pretty darn knowledgeable lady, so I believe her.
well, I'm a fan of Talenti gelato. And
Yeah, that's
but
looking
I do
good.
think there's something to the chocolate and a little bit of sugar, like revving up your metabolism or something.
Yeah,
You
well,
know,
coffee can actually be really good before a workout.
I
I've
can't
noticed
do
that.
coffee.
Yeah, it helps my muscles not be so achy afterwards too. It's kind of crazy how good that is.
I can when I take like an aspirin, or if I take any form of medication or anything, and eat caffeine, I can actually feel it through my body. It's just it just doesn't feel right.
Wow, so you're really sensitive to stuff like that.
Yeah.
Wow, most
I'm
people wouldn't be
curious
able to tell.
how Stevie kept off the weight that she lost. That's a lot of weight.
Yeah, that's a good. I want to know that secret for sure.
And
'cause I've been big and got skinny. I've been big and gotten skinny. I mean, but I just don't. Honestly, I'm 53. I don't have the. I mean, let me just say this. I'm gonna have. I got to. Tonight, I probably could have made it to the gym, but I didn't.
Yeah. And you don't have to go to the gym. You could do push-ups, sit-ups, try to find something you could do, pull-up bar. I think the most important thing is variation. Try to work out muscles you've never worked out before, because your body's going to be working a little bit extra to compensate for the muscles that you didn't build up in those areas. And
Right.
that's going to burn a lot more and throughout the day, your metabolism.
Ass
And
lifts
just like
are
stay in motion. Even if you're sitting still, bounce your leg. Like just that's kind of like what I would do. Just make sure you kind of have that timer of, okay, if I sit down, it's not going to be longer than 15 minutes before I get up and just move around.
Yeah. Oh, and do something that you like that's fun, like if you do like MMA or something, or maybe you like or playing basketball. Just incorporate that into your workout. Or like sometimes what I would do is I get bored with my routine, so I get a basketball. What I would do is and no one's around, I would dribble to one side of the court, do a layup, rebound the ball, go to, jog to the other side of the court, dribbling, do a layup on the other side, and
Yeah.
just do that, right? And that's just something different. And then do swimming the next day, or do some rollerblading the day after. It just
I just
Mix
started
your-
Pilates.
I love that.
Okay, that's it. I'm doing Pilates for
I
sure.
love Pilates.
Well, I actually decided to try it because a lot of it is on your back.
Yes.
The position I'm in right now.
Yeah.
And I thought, that'll work. Because you really do. A lot of it's leg work and everything, but it's not upright, which is great for me. Yeah, it's pretty cool.
I've done yoga for probably over 10 years, and I keep doing that because it really helps flexibility in my joints and all of that. And I did Aikido for years, martial art. It's a Japanese martial art, and it's hand-to-hand defensive moves, but it's also
Aikido.
learning the sword. We did the sword stuff and the staff. And it's really great because it's not considered to be one of the like really brutal arts. It's not about like beating the crap out of someone. It's more about getting out of the way and letting the wall hit them, letting the floor hit them. But you will learn how to flip people over that are like twice your size, and it's pretty cool. And my teacher would always say, he's like, don't hit them with your hands. Your hands get tired. Let them hit the floor. The floor never gets tired. I loved it. The reason I stopped doing it was because my wrists are really sensitive, and there's a lot of wrist holds and wrist reversals, and it started giving me like repetitive stress pain, and I just had to kind of quit because it was just, I was like, I gotta play the guitar and the harp, and can't risk my wrist. So yeah, I kind of haven't done it for a long time, but I loved it. It was wonderful, and it was like you got a really good workout, but you were also learning how to protect yourself and be more in balance.
If you ever wanted to build up your wrists, you can do eskrima. It's stick fighting, Filipino stick fighting, and there are some. There's some people mix in keto with it. They call it escrito. So you can do
I
a
used
mix.
to have to wrap my wrist. I have to wear a brace, to kind of keep it from really beating me up.
But yeah, when you work with the sticks, your forearms are just going to be, and your wrists are going to be really good because you're always doing so many things with the heavy wooden stick. So, and then
That's
you mix
my
that in.
that's my hip keto instructor. He barely speaks English, and his son translates. But he's 63, and he can do finger push-ups.
Right. Yeah.
And then he's just amazingly amazing.
Yep. Yeah.
Just crazy.
Aikido is one of those arts that you can, ostensibly do your whole life because it doesn't beat the body up nearly as much as a lot of the other art forms, and I really loved it. If my wrist could handle it, I would totally do it in a minute.
I'm feeling the wrist stuff all the time.
Is your microphone not working? He's typing.
I think he's checking
I still remember all my sword katas though. I still get out in the yard and do them because it feels so good. It works my arms and my shoulders out.
All right, so I'll be a little late tomorrow. I'll be working out. Just letting you know.
That's good. That's good.
So Eric, have you ever been overweight?
I've been close to I think around 200, 210 pounds. That was at least the maximum of weight I've gained.
Yeah, but I can and Kelly, have you ever been overweight?
No, I mean I was a little bit.
There's people see, here's the weird thing about my ancestry, is before donuts came over and rice and pasta and all that stuff, Cook in his writing indicated the second page or something like that. I'd never seen a more perfect species physically in his when he wrote. So the heaviest person was an alii, which is a king, and from the pictures they were about 22% to 28%, something like that, under 30% body fat, which is still kind of fat. But the reason why they were fat is because the village people, young men, the village people used to give the aliis food for favors, food for more land, or try to win a case. I mean, collusion's been happening forever. But the thing is we've always been a great, and I think all of us have over time, a long time ago, and then all of a sudden processed foods came around. But it's a tough battle, man. Those were $1.99, those chips.
I was never one thing my mother did right was always give us carrots, and we weren't allowed to eat junk food.
Yeah.
And plus she's just really small, so I take after her. But so I've never in my life really eaten. The one time I was a little bit heavier was in my early 20s when I was eating Little Debbie snack cakes or something crap like that.
Those are good.
Yeah, if you stay away from that processed food, I don't think you really have a problem.
I used to be very overweight when I was young, until really I got to be more close to my 30s. I was just a twig, and I couldn't gain weight to save my life. I hated it. I felt just so like a stick.
What are you saying?
Well, I weighed 225 at one point. And then during this, I've gone down to as low as 165. But I usually hover somewhere around 175, 180.
Carpenter, how tall are you? I'm about 5'8".
Well, I used to be 6 foot tall, but after they took out the discs, I shrank like I shrank by at least an inch.
Okay.
Once they did the fusion surgery.
You can
So
always
that
call
was
them and do your
that
BMI.
was novel. I was always taller than my wife, and now my wife's taller than I am. So
Thanks to modern
I've
medicine.
lost like 4 inches to scoliosis, so I used to be 5'10". I'm down to 5'6" now. Eventually, I'm just going to be crooked and sideways in the floor. What about you, y'all?
well, that's about it. You know, you got to measure me like you got to measure all kind of when they used to do geometry in school. You got to figure out what the angles are and everything else to figure out how tall I am.
Yeah.
But let me
So
see.
we're hitting 3
We're late.
hours
We're late. It's late.
and 20
Yeah.
minutes.
I'm gonna probably get to sleep soon.
Yeah. So one last thing, Snork. Is your mic working or not? Do you want to test it out?
How's that?
We could barely hear you.
How's that?
Yeah, it's still kind of low. All right, maybe it can be fixed for tomorrow night. All right. Awesome.
Aloha.
Good night,
All
guys.
right.
Aloha, Nui.
There's it.
Bye.
There's
Thank you.
All
Thank
right.
you, guys.
Cool.
Oh, look at Broken's. Jeez.
Wow. Wait, I'm gonna post my spinal fluid leak too.
Wow. It's crazy.
Makes me want to show my scar.
Yeah. There we go.
Oh, you don't want to see my other scars.
Oh.
The hernia ones. The hernia ones get closer to X-rated material. So.
And James, you want to take it slow because what always set me back getting back into shape is injuries. Like when my Achilles heel got twisted and I had to remove bone spurs, that set me back a lot. So you got to make sure you take it slow and don't get injured because that's the worst part about trying to get.
I need to stretch more. Yeah. Okay. Thank you, guys. I'm gonna listen. If I don't start, if I bring out, what's good for me is I don't eat the whole bag. I didn't eat the whole bag. Okay, because that
Well,
happens.
if you only eat them in the microphone, then we'll give you a hard time about it.
Oh, that's true.
That'll slow you down. So you'll have to pay for every chip you eat.
Okay. All right, you guys. Good night.
All right. Good night. Thanks, everybody.
Bye.
See you guys.
All right. Thanks again for everything. Love you guys.
Good night, guys.
Triggered.
Triggers!